All right, two.
That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
Great afternoon to you, wonderful people. Welcome to this Thursday edition of I Said What I Said. We are live from the beautiful What's In It for the Black People Media Studios. Alongside Tucson Warner, my name is Herb Howard. Each and every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m., we get together right here with you all, and we discuss issues that are impacting the black community, how those issues impact us as individuals, and how they impact us as a collective. And along with your help, we talk through many of those issues in the hopes of finding the optimum solutions for how we can overcome said issues. Again, overcome them as individuals, but perhaps more importantly, overcome them as a collective. Thank y'all so much for choosing to be a part of this conversation. We greatly appreciate each and every one of you. We would kindly ask you to, one, contribute to the conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything you want to add to the discussion, leave your comments. We'll read through as many of them as possible while we go through today's show. We would also ask you, please take a quick second, as I will do now, to share the broadcast. Share it on your personal page. Share it even within your personal network. Absolutely anyone that you think would add value to or find value in this particular conversation, we welcome them to be a part of the discussion, because we feel like the more like-minded individuals we can get to be a part of the discussion, the better the opportunities we have of finding the optimum solutions going forward. So please, if you would be so kind, take a quick second to share the broadcast. Yeah, do those things, and we'd be appreciative. I spaced out of my head real fast. But anyway, this is I Said What I Said. It is intellectual thuggery at its absolute finest. My name is Herb Howard. His name is Tucson Warner 2. What's happening, good brother?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored. Famlo, how you?
Hey, man, if I was doing any better, I'd sell myself, brother. I am feeling good. Ain't nothing to it. The sun is shining. It's about 40 degrees, which is akin to springtime for a cat like me. I think I've worn a coat once, in the last year.
Seriously, I was questioning riding the bike up here again.
Yeah, I know you were.
I was really thinking about it, but I figured when we came out of here to get the sun to
Yeah,
be
it's
down,
gonna be
cold
sun gonna be down, then that 20 gonna be hitting, and
Yeah, so that's the only reason I didn't do it.
Hey, smart man.
You know
That's
what I
it's
mean?
good forward thinking. Because right now it'd have been decent enough.
It is. It's nice as shit outside.
By the time you walk out of here at 6:30, it's gonna be like, yo,
freezing on your monkey.
right? While you trying to do 30 down the street on a bicycle, the wind smack you in your face.
Yeah, it could be bad. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
not. That's not.
So I
getting
chilled,
tears
but I
froze
really
on
thought
your
about it.
eyes.
I pulled my bike out and everything. Like, am I gonna do it? Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. But
Like,
then I was
no,
nah,
please don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Yeah, man. So it get like this. I just feel a kind of way. I just had a phenomenal party in my car on the way here to the studio.
It's cracking in the car.
Yeah, that's why I walked in the studio so damn excited.
Oh,
Sadiq was like, when they finally came out the studio, and we're gonna have to talk to them, okay? Because I don't know what they are thinking, okay? I like the green side of things. It's a super dope show. Glad they joined the squad, but they just think they can run over into the 3 o'clock hour.
They didn't fully understand the hours hours.
They got the game messed up. The champs are here. Y'all need to get out.
They fully didn't understand
You know
the
what I'm
hours
saying?
hours.
Like what is going on in here? You know what I'm saying? So, love brother Sadiq, love sister Cassie. But let's not roll over into Izwiz time anymore. Only we do that. We roll over into other people's time.
Yeah, that's right. We don't follow no rules.
Yeah, we remember when we used to be in the 1 and 3? When we was in that 1 and 3 task, like they're gonna be 310. Like,
Fuck them dudes.
Maze out there throwing a fit. Get out. Whatever. We got some more nothing to talk about. Anyway, man, shout out to the green side of things, man. Oh, I did give Brother Sadiq my update, man. I told you last week I got on the scale for the first time, and I realized that just, like dead ass accidentally I had lost 9 pounds. I didn't do shit. I ain't done nan sit up. I ain't walked the block. I ain't done shit. I just, start making better food decisions.
So I've been good too, G. But today, before I left the house, I saw that my wife was cooking a roast, and that's gonna be a struggle when I get home because that's
Oh, it's gonna smell like heaven when you walk
my
back.
favorite
in the crib.
meal in the history of ever.
Yeah, you throw that thing on.
But I'm being a Viking about it though, so I'm gonna handle it like I'm supposed to.
a Viking.
Yeah, I'm a Viking.
A Viking.
Yes, a Viking.
Not a Viking. A Viking.
A Viking.
Why you split it up like that?
I just how the Chicago.
No,
Language.
a Viking.
Yeah, it's a Viking.
Okay, now you're saying Viking, but at first you was like Viking.
Viking, nigga, it's the same thing. Whatever.
Oh, it's weird.
Whatever, man.
It's like
moving forward.
What's that word that Stewie say on Family Guy? Where he was like, and the dog be like, why do you say it? Cool Whip. He say whip, like Cool Whip. Like why you so hard on the H, man? Cool Whip.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It is what it is. Viking. I said it.
Viking.
You heard it. You heard me say it.
I thought you were saying like a different word. I'm like, oh, put me on. You must have been talking to Salim.
No.
Regular ass Viking. Stop it. Anyway, I wasn't even done with my story. First of all,
I'm listening.
Viking. Today, so I decided because that was last Thursday. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll do weekly weigh-ins on Thursday. So I hopped on the scale today. Down 13 pounds total. Not since last week. That'd be crazy. I need crack for that. But cumulatively since I started, and this is it's the hair. Flo, is that what you said? You said all the weight was in my hair because I cut my hair off. Okay, that was probably legit like 2 pounds. It's the most hair I ever had. Like that shit was crazy. I almost forgot what I looked like. Like now, I
Without hair?
yeah. So sometimes I just look in the mirror, I'm like, oh shit, that is me. I remember. Like, but yeah, down 13 pounds since I started, man. This is the 3rd week. It'll be 3 weeks come Sunday. End of this week will be end of 3 weeks. And so I figure, if I lose, maybe 2 more pounds, just shed off, then that'll be about 5 pounds a week over the course of these 3 weeks. And I'm trying
young,
to
G, so it should be falling right off you if you change your diet.
I'm trying to get to 210. That is my target weight.
Okay.
That is when I was my healthiest. That was when I was my take off my shirtish.
Work your number, G-Ball. Work your number.
Which is all I'm on. Like that's like I shout out to Brother Sadiq and all the health benefits, and he like I ain't been sick in 50 years. I ain't took medicine since 1437. Beautiful and amazing. I want all of those benefits too. I just heard you talking to him about the pain in your hip being manageable, right? Not as intense as it has been since you've been eating that good. But all of those health benefits, beautiful, wonderful, marvelous. This is all vanity for me, okay? All vanity. I just want to get down to 210, get a whole bunch of tattoos, and throw all my shirts away. That's it.
Okay, well, work your number, brother.
Yeah.
I just want to feel better and fit all my old suits.
That's it, fam.
That's it. Once I do that, I'm good money.
That's really it.
Yeah.
That's
I ain't got the jumping off, running out the beach with the water on me glistening.
I'm not that kind of dude.
I don't have that
I'm not that kind of dude.
fantasy going. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I don't have that kind of. It's not that kind of vanity. Like why I was like on some Baywatch shit.
Tank tops in the summer, I'm good. Just want to show off my tattoo.
I don't like clothes, G.
Yeah, just tank tops in the summer.
Like if I could, I'd move to a nudist society, G. Like I don't.
You know what? Whatever works.
I don't like clothes, G. So you know what I'm saying? Unless I told you I don't wear coats ever. I just don't like clothes. I don't like stuff on me. Like how people like sleep and stuff. Like I don't know how that's a thing. Like sleeping like socks and stuff. That's weird.
It's the Aries in you, bro.
Yeah, G. You don't rock with the clothes and stuff. I don't want nothing on me. Like
Clothes is an outside thing for me.
get off of me. Like I just ain't with it, man. So yeah, that's pretty much what this is about. And so right now I'm down 13 pounds and I'm trying to get to
13.
Yeah.
That's good shit.
What the fuck have you been doing while I've been talking to you for the last?
Trying to
3
get my
minutes?
computer up. I'm not really paying you that much attention. I really don't give a fuck what you talking about right now.
So sometimes we'll be having these conversations. I know when you're not paying attention. And sometimes like I space out and not come back in and usually I'll say something like, sure.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Like that's just hey y'all, listen. This is just for y'all. Don't tell nobody else. This is Wiz family shit only. Right? Almost every time you hear me say sure, I do not know what was said before that. Okay, so just keep that in mind when you hear me be like, sure. I don't know what was just said before that. Yeah.
I get it. I know what it comes. I know it.
It's like when you talk. It's like when you're talking to your woman and you like, yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Not paying
What?
that shit no attention.
What?
I fully get it. I fully get it.
So
And when
I
we
get it.
had those
But usually
conversations
I
and you
know
hit me
it.
with that bullshit, I recover quickly. Like, yeah, so
Yeah, you always come. You be like, yeah, until you fully understand white supremacy. But no, I was trying to tell. I was proud of myself and shit, and you wasn't even listening.
sure wasn't. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to
It's
you.
all good. Point is, by my birthday, I'm trying to be at my target weight of 210, and so at the rate I'm on, that will put me there probably like a week or two just ahead of that. So I think we just keep this thing rolling. I think we keep this thing rolling, brother. So I know it's only 30 days, but it ain't really been difficult. The food been fine. I just banged some tacos right before I came. I made some Impossible meat and kale tacos. Them joints was fire. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm with it, man. I know we got a few people in the comments. Is one of the brothers for sure always talks about doing tech help. I'm absolutely going crazy right now because this is my whole life right now, and it's driving me crazy because I cannot get onto the internet, and I'm going through I can't focus because we're trying to have this conversation as well as do this shit. But
Just
it's
go-
absolutely driving me crazy.
Go
right
out
now.
there, do some IT stuff to your computer. I'll just hang out with the peeps. We
Nah,
all
man,
good.
we here now. We got to do what we got to do. But
all-
it's driving me fucking crazy. Know that.
It's all good, man. Just Maze ain't out there doing nothing. Pass it to Maze.
I hate that I'm a slave to technology, G.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You really see it when your shit don't work, right? It drives you crazy. I am a slave to this shit.
Ignorance is bliss. I don't know anything about technology. Therefore, technology can't really fuck up my day like that. I don't know it. I don't really rock with it. That's y'all stuff. Computers and all that, I can barely turn them on, fam. I'm not good at that. It's not my thing. So I don't even try. I get it, though. What's going on? April 11th? Yeah, my birthday is April 11th, OG. Anyway, so yeah, that's we on that, man. I started out at 270 pounds. So now I'm like 257, maybe 255 by the end of the week, and then 45 more pounds by my birthday. Now I'll be at 210.
That's good shit, man.
I'm
So
big. I'm-
you've done the fasting thing before, even though this is not necessarily the fasting thing. It's a vegan kind of
Yeah,
thing.
I've ate plant based for long periods of time before. You know what I mean? Not like long periods of time, in terms of like not eating meat, but like 4 or 5 days out the week, I just wouldn't eat meat anyway. So it's not really that big of a deal to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just not that big of a thing for me. So much as I eat bad habitually. Like I'm just a habitual bad eater. It ain't because I hate plant-based food. It's fine to me. It's like I said.
I think it's
tacos
the
I just ate were
convenience, and I
delicious.
think it's the way our neighborhoods are set up. G. That's when you
Exactly.
start thinking about food insecurity. Think about this. I don't know. You ever been to LA?
Yeah.
So when you go to LA and you think about just kind of the culture,
Yeah.
right? You could legitimately run up on any street and find a vegan restaurant or a
Yeah.
vegan fast food
Yeah.
joint or
Little produce markets
or
and
healthy
shit.
this or
Yeah.
healthy that. You know, I remember the absolute first time I ever did a fast ever. And I was like, man, I don't know. I don't have any information about the shit. There's no logic attached to it.
Right.
It was a competition for me against my god brother. He one of them dudes that do it all the time, but he's out of New York. I was like, man, I could do that shit. I could not eat for 30 days. That ain't shit. So he was just doing raw shit, and I just thought you couldn't eat. You know what I mean? But when I started doing it, I started to realize is that you don't have access to eat healthy in Chicago.
I'm scared to know what you mean by that, Adrian, but okay.
You know? You really don't have access to eat healthy in Chicago, specifically when you're in our communities. You know what I mean? And I failed miserably at that challenge. You know what I mean? Because I completely stopped eating. And then my goddamn
that's when you
lung
almost
collapsed.
died?
Yeah, my lung collapsed.
You're
on
a
my stupid
retard,
ass.
bro. You do everything to the
But I lost like 30-something pounds, like with no work. I
leaving
was
a
like,
good-looking corpse in the
hey, man, I was sexy Dex out here. You know what I mean?
You were dead, Dex. Like, what are
Yeah,
you
know,
talking about?
It happens. It happens.
What's wrong with you, man?
This is Keisha calling me. We're going to take Keisha's call on air. You want to do that?
Is that how we
She's
doing this
trying
thing?
to get into the thing. She hung up on me. Yeah.
Is that how we do it? So we're gonna talk to Keisha Gray Sewell. She's gonna pop in on the show. I'm expecting her to pop in on the video. I don't know what to.
She said she's waiting in the room.
Is she?
And she's only got until 3:50.
Okay, well let me. She very well may be. You know, might be a real situation. Yeah, she's here. I see her. And she's frowned up as usual because Keisha always
That's
upset.
what she do. That's what she do.
Keisha
Attitude-face girl.
Keisha just be upset. So let's just go ahead and pop her in before we get in trouble.
She's a black woman, mad at everything.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's kick it off.
That's two. That's two.
I was trying to figure what's up. I was trying to
What's
figure
up,
out if
Gwen?
I had the right
Link. It's link.
link because I'm just in the room. Nobody's saying anything. So
We couldn't see you
But
in
Yeah,
the
we,
room,
we,
Keish.
we couldn't see you. We had to reset the room. I didn't know you was there.
Right, we was there waiting
Oh,
for
okay.
you, Queen.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes, yes, and I've
it's your
arrived.
world. We just live in.
That's right.
I have arrived. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Kings, for inviting me. That's what we're doing in 2021. Everybody, kings and queens. Thank you.
She is
You know,
the one and
Enoch
only.
Muhammad was. I just want y'all to know, Enoch Muhammad, brother Enoch, the hip hop detox, was doing this back in 1993, 94 on the yard of SIU. Everybody, he was king and
Kings
the
Go
and
queen.
queens.
dogs. Salukis.
Yeah, we was kings
Yeah, how
and
did that
queens.
work out for him?
Beautiful. You see, people
bless
like
his
me have
heart.
all risen. We've all risen to the occasion. So it's
Bless his
been
heart.
wonderful.
Bless his
I
heart.
dig it. Keith, thanks for taking time out your busy schedule, man. I saw you out making videos on the street last night. I know you always got a million and one things going on, so I'm glad you wanted to take a moment to hop in and chop it up with us, man. It was a historical day that took place yesterday as the 46th president and the first black female Asian Pacific Islander female
The first brown-skinned vice president.
vice president
Well,
were sworn in.
That and just the first woman vice president, period. Right.
Yeah,
so
That's true, too.
so it's not historic. It's historic moment that we have had, and we're entering into history right now. So I'm really excited.
So look, Keish hit me yesterday when I was leaving out the show, and she was like, "Man, did Bella?" First of all, shout out to Keish. She has a program called Girls Like Me that she's been running for how many years, Keish? For a while now.
Well, we like 9 years in.
She's
That's what's
like
up, Keish.
9 years in. They do all kind of stuff. My daughter's a part of the program. My daughter loves it. And she hit me, and she's gotten some press for my daughter specifically around some of the stuff they done with Girls Like Me. But she hit me the other day when I was leaving out here, like, man, did you watch the inauguration? Did Bella watch the inauguration? I want to get some conversations going with some of the girls who saw it. Now, I wasn't at the crib most of the day yesterday, so I didn't know what Bella had done or not done. But in the interim of that, I thought about it. I said, man, this would be a good conversation to have on air.
Yeah.
Because we have certain feelings about our vice president, but then when you start looking at the collective response, specifically amongst women, it was like this moment of admiration. You know what I mean?
And adoration.
Yeah, true. But I got mixed feelings about it, right? And mostly that's because of my political view. It has nothing to do with gender. I understand the moment, but I think it would be better served for someone like Keisha to kind of speak to the moment than either of us.
All right, Keish, the floor is yours, Queen. Tell us how you felt about it. Just when it became apparent that that their win was going to be certified, it wasn't going to continue to be challenged by former President Trump. What was that like for you, kind of leading up into yesterday, and then what was it like ultimately seeing them be sworn in?
So, me and Tu, we have our clashes, but we really think a lot alike. We really do.
No, we don't think alike. Don't you start that lie.
No, we don't think alike.
that.
Here y'all go. I love it.
Don't you come in and start that shit.
I love it.
We don't think alike, but our politically our politics line up a lot. And so like to up until yesterday, I really wasn't excited or moved either way. I really wasn't. I just politically, right? And knowing where we stand as a country and what's necessary, and for the girls that I work with specifically, how they have been left out of the conversation regardless of who is in office. So, and the living conditions and just the Chicago alone, right? So I wasn't really excited. I was more about what us not being pacified, us not being stagnant, us not being lulled into this normal, right? We want to go back to normal. Right. And I was just very disheartened up until yesterday, just seeing us go back into that normal. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until I saw and heard from Amanda Gorman, the 22-year-old young sister who did her poem, The Hill We Climb. And her speaking, her words, her poem, her presence, everything she talked about, the words that she spoke about, and the tenor of her conversation and her poem just moved me. It really just transcended me. It took me to a whole different mindset. It took me out of my cynical outlook that I woke up with in the morning. Sure. And I have to admit that when I saw it, politics aside, as pissed as I am at them for continuously dragging Pastor Wright through whatever they feel the need to, all of that aside, whenever I see Barack Obama and Michelle Obama just walking in that swag, it makes you just stand up in pride a little bit more. So seeing them walk back through those doors again, that did something as well. And it wasn't necessarily Kamala. I have to just look at who I know personally and put that into play of why it's so symbolic, right? So the 22-year-old young girl who can speak of being from a single mother, who can speak of being just a Black girl, not of any means or prominence, not polished and refined, not anything, but just showing up as her Black self and knowing her Black story, right? That she was supposed to be special needs and all these different, all these different things that they placed on her, as they do, Black girls, right? That this girl has risen to be on the highest stage by just using her voice, just using her creativity. Like the brilliance of that moved me. And knowing that the girls that I serve also have that same kind of brilliance. Bella, Tucson's daughter, other girls who are also living with single parents who are marginalized, who don't have the right zip codes, right? Those are the girls I serve. And knowing that each one of them has the power in them to be on that stage like Amanda did. But not only that, knowing that they also have the power to be on the stage like Kamala, right? They have that power. And we see it with Kim Foxx. Now, Kim Foxx was another change for me, changed my heart in this whole thing, because I know Kim personally and I know how she moves. I know her principles and her policies, and I know that she's always doing the best in her mind to move her people forward, right? However that plays out politically, I know her intention, I know her deliberation, and I know that she's moving from her heart. Mm-hmm. And there are other people who won't see things like that. But when I think about what her family has endured, when I think about, the pushback, the personal attacks, then I have to say that would I want that to happen to my sister Kim? Do I want that for her?
Right.
Then I shouldn't want it for another Black woman who I don't know. And I don't know her personal story. I don't know how her heart is. I don't know the politics behind how she moves. And so that softened my heart a little in terms of looking at Kamala Harris and what, although her policies I don't agree with sitting in Chicago, right? Mm-hmm. I have to know that she is, for the most part, whatever she endures, how it don't matter how she identifies, but what she endures from the world will be because they see a Black woman. And so with that, I think that there is some solidarity and just not wanting to cause any harm. Like that sister's poem just said everything. Everything that sister's poem said is how I wanted to, is what I want to live and what I want to feel for other Black women. Now, I will say this. I'm not rocking no Chucks and pearls. I did not rock Chucks and pearls because I think that there's always this sisterhood that's celebrated, but that's a sisterhood that is exclusive and elite. It doesn't make room for the other sisters who don't have pearls and Chucks, right? And we can go into a whole different thing about what that has been for us as a people. You know, the whole notion of sorority and Greeks and HBCUs and all of that, right? So I support with my Timbs and my copper. So I'm rocking Timbs and copper, and that's because there's healing for us to do. We can't ignore that. For me, there is no time for party. Everybody said yesterday was a celebration and a time to party. It was no time to party for me. It's always time to work. It's always time to heal, and that's what I wanted to do. But I definitely know that the girls right now who are 13 and 14 and 15, those who will be able to vote in the next election will do so with a different understanding because of what they saw yesterday, the possibility that they saw.
So
and I also know that
Keish, slow down real quick, because that's a topic that kind of concerns the shit out of me, right? You just said the girls that come but next, right? Who not a voting age yet, but when they come of age, they're gonna vote with a different kind of vigor. And my question is, and this is because I know you, and you explaining it here too, but your politics does not align with this administration per se.
Not at all.
Right? And when I see the response from the multitude, specifically of women, with the kind of elitist kind of Chucks and pearls, kind of symbolism over substance kind of attitude, even well, let me not say that. I ain't gonna say nobody's name. Somebody put up who I know is engaged, and they was like, this moment, the symbolism does have XYZ value.
Oh, I saw that.
And I got to ask myself sometimes, not even sometimes, in totality, right? At what point do we start moving beyond the symbolism, right? When do we start to ask for tangible results? Because here's the thing, I didn't see Bella or know what Bella, I didn't really get a chance to really engage her as of yet. And she didn't really watch too much of the inauguration. But what I did watch with Bella, like the day before, we watched that Spike Lee and Nate, the American Skin movie. And it was interesting because it opened up a space where me and my entire family had like a 2-hour-long conversation. And in that moment, in that conversation, it dawned on me how much my daughter pays attention to me. Because after watching that movie, she was like, this is how I feel about it. This is what it is. This is what I caught. This,
Right.
In regards to comprehending and understanding the messaging of the movie, she was on point, more on point than my wife and my son, And I know she idolizes her daddy. And it was like listening to her daddy talk when listening to her review of that movie.
I told you she's just like you, bro.
Right? So I was kind of intrigued by that.
In a lot of ways.
And I'm really interested. Well, we're gonna have to go back and Google some of the inauguration stuff because I want to hear what she has to say about that too. But it just kind of drives me back to the Walter Beach quote. How do you ever revolt against that in which you love?
Yeah. I don't know if you can.
So can I answer that?
Yeah.
So for me, it's not that our girls would want to be like somebody. Just knowing that I can do it, right? So I don't have to do it the same way. And I think that we're on the precipice right now of a time where these young people are not trying to do anything the same. They just want to know that they can get to the table. They want to know that they can get the steak. And they don't need to know. They're not trying to get it the same way that it was given or whatever. The whole fact that I know, like, let's just use Chicago, right? We dealing with a system that has its who sent you kind of mentality, whatever. But Amara, and regardless of how you feel about her politics, right? She's a different. She represents a different. And I'm not saying she's the most radical, most revolutionary, but I'm saying she definitely is not the either or that we have been used to. Right. So we dealing with young people that's gonna come up saying, "I can be mayor, and I can be mayor on my terms." We dealing with young people that say, "I can be the state's attorney, the whatever on my terms. I can be a senator. I can be in the House like Cori Bush. I can be in the House like Alexandria Ocasio. I can be like Ayanna Pressley." Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they need to try to get there the same way or be the same people, but just the belief that a little black girl on the low end or a little black girl in Inglewood can say, "Damn it, I ain't gotta be a part of this. You know, I don't have to belong to any certain sect of people just to know that I can make it." And I think that is what the symbolism is. Now, the everyday work for us to work with them, to show them the movies, to talk to them about stuff, to have father figures that make them look deeper, to have conscious conversations that helps them contextualize and know history and know the importance of things. I think that's the work that we have to do on the ground. But I think we can always have that vision, right? Just that painting on the wall that says you can make this is what could be.
See, for me though, the painting is white Jesus. That's what that painting represents to me. Even in the context of how you explained it, Keish, like how you explained it with the pearls and the chucks and the elitist kind of philosophy, the painting always looks like white Jesus to me. And white Jesus just ain't a fucking enough to me. And I'm not trying to, I don't want to, I kind of do. Fuck that. I kind of do want to minimize the moment. Fuck that. I really do, right?
I mean, the moment in its essence needs to be minimalized, because in the moment it means nothing. Today is the same as yesterday. The moment means nothing because the things that repelled, they're powerful, but they don't reach Inglewood. The things that matter, right? The as you said, his immediate things that he's going to change doesn't affect you and me right now today. So the moment is what it is. A moment. I'm not at all saying that it's a sweet salvation mountaintop moment. I'm not. There are many people who be like, "Ooh, now we can breathe a sigh of relief." I'm not one of those people. But what I do know is it gives us something to hope for, that these kids now, right, that they can get the tools. We can get them the tools right now to dismantle this whole thing, that they can have conversations slowly but surely, because yesterday or last month, they couldn't even see none of that. They couldn't see any of that.
So I thought about it in this context today, and it really was just you talking about the shit that even made me think about it in any other kind of context. Was that, like, I'm a huge fan of
Because I do that
Jordan.
for you. I do that for you.
You say
I
what?
do that for you. I make you better.
Very rarely. Very rarely. Very rarely. But look, real shit. Like, I love Jordans. Love them. Right? Got a closet full of them motherfuckers. But I know they're shit shoe. Anytime I'm going to hoop, I can have 12 pairs of Jordans in my closet. If I don't have basketball shoes, that shit is useless.
Oh, that's why you don't wear J's to hoop?
I would never wear J's to hoop.
I would never wear J's to hoop either, but it's because they J's, and I ain't finna mess them up.
But that's the mindset maybe as a younger man, but as an older man who body matters, and I got to get up the next morning and go do some shit, I refuse to go hoop in some Jordans because they're just a shit shoe. You know what I mean? But I can separate the two in my mind, right? I like these shits to walk around in and they look fresh. I got them on my feet right now. But when I need to use them for something tangible and useful,
right,
they're fucking useless to me.
It's like a Ferrari, bro. There's nothing you can do with the Ferrari except drive that motherfucker.
But
like,
again,
but it looks amazing while you're doing it. You can't put shit in it. You can't get groceries in that motherfucker. You can't.
But even your response.
But it transports you. It gets you somewhere. You can move.
Yeah, I mean, Jordans are shoes. Yeah, I mean, they are
and
shoes.
The Ferrari too.
It's a mode of transportation for sure, but you compare that to say like a pickup truck.
But the job of the shoe is made as a basketball shoe. That's the job of the shoe, right?
However,
so if it doesn't show up as a basketball shoe when you're making investments in a basketball shoe, it's a useless investment. It's a useless investment.
However, Jordan wore that shoe. and won how many championships?
But again, and this is why this is why I use that analogy.
And not only did he get the championships, he had a whole franchise and a whole bunch of people behind him also getting paid and getting money and eating off of that.
But Keish,
championship.
hear me out. This is why the analogy makes sense and it has so much nuance in it. When Jordan actually wore the shoe, it was a way better constructed shoe. Because the goddamn industry has shifted, and even the manufacturer knows that motherfuckers don't play ball in these.
Yeah, plus
they
his was
don't
custom.
make them with the same quality.
All his shoes are custom.
Even
to
still,
his
I
foot,
hooped
is what I'm
in.
saying.
I was a young boy before too. I hooped in Jordans. They weight more. They're constructed completely different these days, right? And the novelty consumer of the Jordan never recognizes the difference in the quality of the Jordan from this era to this era.
Sure.
Right? It's just it's fucking Jordans. It's the symbol. Right? The construction of the shoe don't mean shit, and you're paying premium prices for a shoe that's not well constructed because the symbol of the logo has created this value in your mind.
Yeah, they used to hoop in chugs, bro. Like, how was that even possible? Like just think about
they was
that.
made different.
They used to hoop in Chuck Taylors, G.
But the nuance of the analogy is
No, I feel you. I'm not
drives me
disagreeing
right
with you
back to this
at
moment.
all. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm
You know
just
what I
asking
mean?
the question.
It drives me right back to this moment, and
Yeah.
I'm afraid. I'm afraid, and it's not just. I mean, we're seeing it now because it's Kamala Harris, right? But we saw it before with Barack Obama, and we should have learned something from Barack Obama. I could almost justify the Barack Obama shit because we was all caught up in that wave. But after seeing it in process, we should say, wait a minute, man, this ain't really what the fuck I signed up for.
Yeah, no, Barack Obama had a 5-year grace period with me. I was gonna give him his whole first term just off GP. Like the first 2 years, I was just still hella excited that he was there. And then I was gonna let him finish out that first term just to say, okay, I understand he gotta be real bipartisan in this first term if he wants any chance of winning a second one. But ain't no third one. So by the end of that first year, the second term, I was like, this dude is a piece of shit. He's not gonna do nothing for us. Like that, it was all symbolism. Like I expected him to move around like we saw Trump move around his first term. That's how I expected Barack to move in his second term. Like I'm gonna do whatever I want. We didn't get that out of him. Bringing it back to present day though, I was staunchly opposed to this administration the entire time, right? Just because they weren't talking shit that was providing any tangible benefits to black people. And so I'm like, fuck them. Like until they actually come with some promises to black people specifically, to hell with them people, right? And that was my stance on it. Unfortunately, you know, the majority was cool with the symbolism. So now we're here. And so now that we're here, it doesn't really serve me or anybody else for me to keep saying, fuck Joe Biden, fuck Kamala Harris. Like there's no purpose in it anymore. They're already there. I was saying it before because I wanted people to be like, at least let's question what they're doing. Let's try to get something out of this before we get to my vote. They got the votes anyway without promising us shit, but there's still there's no benefit to me just being like, fuck both of them. So now I'm just like, okay, yeah, it did look kind of cool that you had a black, dark-skinned woman being sworn in as vice president. It's always cool when you see Barack and Michelle.
First of all,
Like,
She not dark
a
skinned.
black dark skinned woman.
no, so I was gonna say a black woman, but I want to
the
change
Indian
it.
brown
Listen,
skinned woman.
I was going to say a black woman, but I want to change it from a black woman to just saying a dark skinned person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not like she's dark skinned versus light skin. I'm just saying. And so, but it is cool. It was cool to see it, and I really did like the young sister Amanda when she get up there and gave did her poem. Thought it was super dope. If I'm being really honest, I thought it was too fucking long. Like I'm like, cause like at some point I kind of like just spaced out. I was watching. I'm like, this is so cold. She's spitting in here, and then at some point I just kind of felt myself like spacing out. I came back to him like, this poem is still going. This poem long as shit.
Yeah, see, I struggle with that.
Oh
whole
my
philosophy.
God, y'all haters.
I'm
on
not
art?
hating. It was too long. All I'm saying is
creativity?
it was too long.
I didn't even see it, so I'm not hating. I don't even know.
It was right. Started off raw. It was good. I was super happy to see her up there doing it. She was a spoken word master. The poem was just too damn long. I couldn't believe she was still on this poem like 10 minutes later. I was like,
I'm glad she took her damn time. I'm glad she took her time, and she was reclaiming time for black people. And a little black girl had the whole world captivated for that amount of time. So I say, do it. Keep your mic on.
yeah.
I just think too. Look, this is what it is too. We can be angry and bitter and push back at the world or those who are not elevated in the way that they think. And this is no knock to people. This is just general. This is factual. It's factual. The majority of the people in the world are basic. They are not nuanced. The majority of people need someone to give them pinpoint. I see it on your page. Who should we vote for, Tucson? Who should we do this? Should I do that? Should I get this? They need someone to tell them. They need someone to guide them. They need someone to direct them. So you cannot continuously, I refuse to continuously be disappointed, right? Because that's a feeling, that's a spiritual thing. That takes you down energy level wise, right? If you in this space, this sunken place of disappointment, this sunken place of grievance, this sunken place of cynical, like that's not how I'm choosing to move. I'm choosing to move with where I see a problem and the solution I can be to that problem. And I'm in a space of those who rock the way I rock, to rock with them. And we'll all meet up at the crossroads. I think people have good intention, and I think it's some good. I've seen people all up and down my timeline and my news feed with pictures of their chucks and their pearls. Sisters that I love dearly, sisters that I would give my life to. I ride with them. I know they good people. So I can't say like they dumb, they blind, they sheep. They moving with what moves them. And I got to do the same. But I know that most people, that's why everybody does not have leadership qualities. Everybody does not have. And if they did, then what the hell would you be good for?
Right. That's real.
If everybody could lead, then the ones who consider themselves leaders, then what the hell sets you apart?
Right.
That's why everybody has a purpose.
That's
and so I have embraced the fact that instead of being mad, because I used to get mad, instead of being mad at people for not knowing or not asking or not trying to go deeper, I embrace that my gifting, my purpose, my God life assignment is that I'm the person that just brings it up so that they can look at it. I can't force them to look at it, but I can definitely illuminate it so they can. And so the moments from yesterday that we can say, hey, look, this is beautiful. This what this symbolizes. I mean, I've seen women talking about they finna go buy coats. Yes. Like, you ain't have a coat already? Like, you
the coats was the talk of the town.
The coats was like, I'm gonna go get
Michelle
a
coat and J-Lo coat
Yes.
and Kamala coat.
Two, you can't.
That irritates the fuck out of me.
Even Nancy Pelosi coat.
It does give you a hint of it's a representation of a mindset. But here's the thing, right?
Michelle did look good.
If you know that that's what that you're dealing with, then you know how to lead people. You know how to steer them. You know, like that's so. Did I tell y'all I applied for social to go back to school for my master's?
Okay, did you have to go at 350?
I do. It's 354. I do.
That is
I was
terrible.
trying to get out of here but I appreciate
I'm proud of
you.
you.
Nah, salute.
Thank you. I salute y'all too. King. Salute your queen. No.
Proud of you for going back to school.
You heard the nigga say salute the queen, right?
We salute you. we salute you. As soon as we can, we gotta get you in studio here to hang out for the whole show.
I'm gonna tell you the truth, Keish.
No, I ain't coming up in there with y'all.
Keish, I was waiting at 3:49 for your ass to have to go. Then I was gonna go in on your ass and you had to hang up.
Y'all weren't too bad today, man. Usually I think I gotta bring in my referee shirt and whistle.
I was trying to be strategic. I was waiting 3:49.
Smack on the way out the door and run out the door. I had a fight like that with one of my best friends to this day when I was in like third grade.
Shut your ass up.
Keish, we gonna let you go, love, but thank you so much.
Seriously, I think I as black men though, I will hope that you all, outside of all of the wrong things about yesterday, find a light. That's what Amanda said. Be a light. Find a light about yesterday that you can share with the women that you love and the daughters that you're raising. Find that light and lift that up for them. Like, I don't want girls to grow up feeling the way I felt, bitter, resentful, feeling like they just can't get there. They are already there. That's the
Yeah.
whole thing they need to know. They are there, and the world needs to catch up with them. All right, y'all. Salute, peace. Thank y'all for having me.
Real spill,
right, peace.
Keisha. That was Keisha Grace Wool. She is absolutely family. Always a pleasure to have her on the show. Thanks for taking the time, Keisha. We will talk to you real soon. Too, let's take a break right now. When we come back from break, we'll jump into the conversations that we want to get into for the day. This is I Said What I Said, Herb 2 till 6. Flo is behind the glass in the production studio doing all of the hard work. We check in with him on the other side of this break as well. We'll be right back.
We're hanging out this morning with Michael Drayton. We're talking money. Talk to me about investments and your viewpoint on Robinhood and somebody looking to get started in investments.
The Robinhood phenomenon is an app that was initially created so that people can sort of get involved in stocks by buying what is called partial shares, right? You know, at one point, Tesla stock was over 1,000, heading up some ridiculous price, 2,000, and it split, right? Perhaps the share was too expensive for the average person to buy one share. So Robinhood said, let them buy $50 worth of this particular share to give them access. People started doing what is called trading, which is what I do. Trading is primarily short-term holding. You enter the stock, hope it goes up, and you take the money out. Or well, I won't get into some of the other strategies. So what this phenomena did create is a new class of investors that took Wall Street off guard. Basically, it was all of this new money coming in, and a lot of the money came in from the stimulus checks, by the way, because people were at home and they needed something to do. They weren't as privy to DraftKings as they are now, because DraftKings is a betting application. Two things. Anytime you get money, whether it's $1 or, and I can't give specifics out for legal reasons, but there's only two ways you're really making money. You're making money based on appreciation, or you're making money based upon interest coming. If you for income streams, you have to find money that is paying interest. If you're looking to hold long term, you want to look at more equity long positions with the hopes of the market going up, which is why people buy real estate. Robinhood is but one application that is able to do that. Underlining issues are Wall Street sort of dismissed the Robinhood culture when it started. They're uneducated investors. They don't know what they're doing. They're just following the trend or whoever. And what happened is Robinhood investors ended up creating this scenario where the market started going up because there's so much buying going on and so much activity going in.
WIFTPM.
Man, you know I love you, right? Just gotta be real with me. You cheating on me?
I said, boy, don't you know what you do to me? He said, there you go with that. I said, boy, don't you know what you do to me?
You know how I feel about you. I'm trying to make this work.
I said, boy,
my guys keep coming to me, telling me they seen you was stud. How that's making me look. Buy you them rings, them leathers, keep your head down every week. You gotta let me know something.
Look, if you don't trust me, why the f is you with me? Coming at me on some Jay-Z shit. Who you with? Calling my cell, leaving crazy voicemails. Thinking you could get me if you called my girl Nikki, but she was with me. And I was home at 7:50, but that's when he got technical with it. Talking about he called my house at 7:59. I don't keep up with the time. What the f you think I'm lying? It all comes down to you trust me or you won't. The bottom line is you love me or you don't. And do you need me, baby?
Yeah, you know I do.
So you believe me, baby?
Yeah, for sure I do.
Then he gave me a hug, jumped in the truck and went to work. He managed to leave without getting his feelings hurt. So I sat back, flamed up the weed and thought of who the hell done ran their mouth and almost got me caught up. I said, boy, don't you know what you do to me? He said,
but I don't usually.
I said, boy, don't you know what you do to me? He said,
you know I don't usually.
I said, boy, don't you know what you do to me? I be hating when you acting brand new.
Welcome back, good people. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios alongside Tucson. My name is Herb Howard. This is I Said What I Said. Listen, man, it's getting close to dinner time. If you don't know what you need to be doing, perhaps you need to head over to Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up. It is back every Thursday and Friday evening in January. Stop by 312 East 75th Street, 312 East 75th Street, Thursdays and Fridays from 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. for authentic street tacos made with Southside soul. West Siders, y'all can come get some too. It's all good. Sissy's makes the best jerk chicken tacos, Sriracha shrimp, blackened salmon, and our vegan Cajun Jack tacos are becoming the talk of the town. Don't forget to ask about their Rome walking taco, sissy street corn, and children's meals that come with a special prize. Also introducing their tamales, pre-order only. Visit sissystacobar.com and sign up for text message updates to get a free taco with any purchase. sissystacobar.com. Again, every Thursday, that's today, and Friday, that's tomorrow, 312 East 75th Street, 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Y'all get over there and check out Sissy's Taco Bar pop-up. So you was talking about you was talking about how you was trying to wait to the very, very last minute that Keisha was on the show so you could pop off right before she had to dip.
Yeah, because you know every time we talk, we fight.
That's all y'all do is fight. Right? all the time. I'd be like, I just sit back and listen to y'all.
Yeah, you know, she dirty
I wasn't
folks.
too bad today.
She dirty folks from the low end, so you got to be strategic. You know what I'm saying? She hit you when you turn your back.
When I was a shorty, man, I had a fight with one of my to this day we best of friends. My boy BC, my boy Brian, and we was in I want to say we was in 3rd grade, 4th grade, and I was just playing. We remember you had well you from like out there and shit. Y'all probably didn't. We had a sink in our classroom, and on the sink, it was just a little sponge, and the sink was like right by the door. So as we lined up by the door, we getting ready to leave out, and so I take the sponge, throw it, hit Brian in the face or something. Soggy ass sponge, just slapped him in the face because we were stupid, right? And so I'm in the front of the line, and so I get we going down the stairs. As we going down the stairs, he kind of like runs from his spot in the line all the way straight out the door. As soon as I walk out the door downstairs, he found me. Bow, right? And just take off running around to the 73rd Street side of the building. So I chase him around the building. I catch him out there on the side, and now we fighting on the gate, right? We out there fighting on the gate. My mom was there to pick me up that day, so she see me and Brad fighting. She hop out the car going off because I told you we like best friends. And so she's like, "What is y'all doing?" But I'm like, "Hey, man, he stole on me. I can't let that ride." He's like, "No, he hit me with a sponge." And so I got in trouble for hitting him with a sponge. And he didn't get in trouble for punching me in the face.
That's how the game goes.
Next time I see you, BC, I'm fine on you. Understand that.
You got to be strategic, man. That's how the game goes.
Yeah.
But so this is a conversation that needs to be had that is very difficult to have that nobody really wants to have.
And what conversation is
and
that, my brother?
That conversation is that there's a issue, illuminating issue between black men and black women.
Okay.
In general,
Mm-hmm.
right? So whenever you come to the conversation about questioning the stature of black women as a black man, it turns into some whole other shit all the time, right? And I'm not saying that's what was going to happen with Keisha, but even in regards to like what's going on in the White House right now, it's not a political conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gender conversation that's rooted in the trauma of black life. And no matter how you address it, it's almost like the relationship conversation where it's like, well, you the problem. Well, you the problem. Well, you the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because we don't recognize the trauma attached to the social environment,
Mm-hmm.
right? And as we're evolving, though, and learning, right, as you begin to get awoken to these ills, you got to fucking address them.
You must.
But it's very difficult to address them when everybody wants to be right and nobody's fluid and listening.
That's what I was gonna say. I think the issue is that we don't recognize ourselves. It's the same shit, bro. Damn, we don't recognize that we're on the same team, right? We don't see this thing as us trying to get to a common place, right? A common goal. We don't really see it that way, and so often enough, we treat that relationship as though it's me versus you.
But that's part of the conversation.
Mhm.
We're not trying to get to the same place, and that's part of the problem, right? So here's a conversation that
Okay.
I know nobody really wants to have.
Mhm.
Even we wanted to go into some of that manhood shit today.
Yeah, man.
'Cause of-
Shout out
'cause
to the
of-
Book of Dawn, man.
'cause of Book of
There
Dawn
was a great
conversation.
page in the Book of Dawn earlier today. Shout out to D. Millie for that show. They had a good conversation. What's the brother's name? Dondre.
Something.
I recognize him from a bunch of things.
He was
but-
on the Cosby Show and all kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know that, but that's not. I know that, but something else specifically. I can't. I've been trying to think about it for like all week since I knew he's coming on the show. What the image of him that pops in my mind is from a specific thing, and I can't place what that thing is. But anyhow, it was a good conversation. He has a book out called "Male versus Man," and they had a really good conversation on it. You were actively engaged in the conversation until Big Lavender.
Yeah, shout out to the chat room, right? Because I can't
Took
comment
you
in
off
the
the
chat
comments.
room. It's not that I'm avoiding y'all. I can't keep up with everybody, but I really can't even respond to y'all in the chat room. So if I don't catch it and speak to it directly from the air, y'all can't hear me because I think Maze and Tennille blocked me.
Yeah,
They was afraid of my voice.
Big Lavender and the Boss Lady took you off the thing when
Haters,
you
man.
when you was
Haters, B.
when the Pushback King was trying to strike out against the brother Dondre.
See, I don't even think it happened with Dondre though. He might have been like he might have been the last straw. He was like the third strike. I think it happened last night with the interracial relationship conversation shit.
Oh, you was popping off in there?
I was saying what I didn't
was
even
being
go
too?
all the way far though.
You
I
was
was just
being
being
too?
like 50% too.
See, I was here. I was here during the show, obviously, and I was in and out of the studio just a little bit, but I wasn't all of that engaged in the show. I had to hop on a Zoom call
Dondre
for something
Whitfield.
else. Right.
Thanks, Ready Rock.
I had to hop on the call for something else, so I didn't really see what y'all was doing in there until when I heard y'all having a conversation before we came in today. You and Tennille was kind of talking about it as we was passing through into the studio.
Yeah, so I think that's where it started.
You was cutting up in there.
I just was asking questions.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it was cutting up at all. I was asking questions.
Uh-huh.
That's it.
Okay, in the zone debuted on What's in It for the Black People Media yesterday. It was very, very a very successful debut. It was a good show by all reports, and then it was followed up by another show that debuted yesterday, which was WeCo Wednesday. Shout out to Reese the Ruler, aka DJ.
DJ dope, G. I mean,
DJ is
I
dope.
like the show, but I
Fuck
think
with
just in regards to like the way he met, his voice sounded good.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Me and
I think
me and
DJ
Toy
show gonna
and
rock,
WeCo's
man.
Wednesdays. No, I like it. I like. It's a really, really cool show. It's an entertaining conversation.
Boosie
and-
laughing at me right now because I kept saying, "Bless your heart,
Bless
bless your
Bless your, hey,
Bless your heart.
I wish I'm gonna have to go back and watch that show because I didn't really get to engage in it the way I wanted to. But nah, DJ is dope, man. And he asked me last minute, hey man, you want to pop in the show? Because his co-host Toy, she wasn't in the studio. She was on it. She was virtually there, but he's like, you want to pop in? I was like, yeah, I'll sit in. I kind of stayed off camera and just popped off at some random shit because it's funny. Yeah, it's a good show. I like WeCo Wednesday.
But back to that original conversation,
Mm-hmm.
that what sparked this conversation is that when feminism kind of materialized, like there was a concentration of black women who joined the feminist movement, and those ideas kind of still permeate today. And although I can leverage the feminist movement, it's also an energy that's kind of, and this is not blaming black women. It's kind of the consequences of how the white patriarchy works, right? And I'm not blaming black women because in reality, black men need to stand in their proper polarity as well. But when we have that conversation about the social norms of America, right, there's this idea that patriarchy holds women back, and it does, right? But there's also this other idea that all males benefit from white patriarchy, or patriarchy in general, and that's a falsehood, right? So in reference point to the narrative of black male, black women existence, there's these kind of circulating conversations that's not rooted in truth. It's rooted in the same thing to how we respond to Kamala.
Sure.
It's all symbolic. It's all media driven, right? Y'all think about this. There was a billboard on 35th Street not too long ago that just said, it was a black billboard and it said, "Listen to black women," period. That's it, right? So I'm not knocking the billboard, right? But what the billboard does is it validates black women's place in the system, right? While devaluing, and not saying this billboard specifically, but life in America devalues the black male existence. Right. You know what I mean? So it's always this constant tug of war. And I think Ready Rock said, I don't know who else said it, but I don't know if it's Ready Rock or not, my fault. But what I'm saying is that this is part of the plan. The plan is to keep it divisive, but we cannot be under the illusion that
Pawns
that's
in our
part
own
of
game. Yeah.
part of the plan that we ain't affected by it. It's absolutely true. We are affected by it, and it is a divisiveness. So when you say, hey, man, this symbolic bullshit is exactly that. Some symbolic bullshit. The conversation goes all these different kind of ways. But it's not rooted. I can have a conversation around politics with everybody in the world, right? But my understanding of politics isn't everybody's understanding of politics. So what we do is, and what most people do, think about how you go vote. Think about how the vast majority of people go vote. When Maze puts out those voter guides, I've seen motherfuckers
Just stand there and go straight down the
straight down the line. They don't know shit about them people, right? And it's kind of the same point that Keith just said, right? You know, people call me and say, "Who?" My family members be calling me like, "Who should we vote for? What do you think of these judges? What do you know?" This kind of shit happens to me all the time,
Right.
And I just know we're not engaged. So when you start making decisions about the highest office in the land because the motherfucker had on the right sneakers or she's part of the right sorority or she's went to this HBCU or, bruh, if the other side recognizes that,
Right.
why not just give them what the fuck they like? We could dress up shit and it's still shit. It's just dressed up shit.
Yeah.
But they don't know it's shit because we ain't paid attention to nothing past the symbol,
That's real spell.
the outer space. We're not into the substance of it, right? It's a very shallow view of the world.
It's what you do against any opponent. You find out where they are vulnerable and you attack that space. That is what you use. And so if they are vulnerable to shiny little trinkets of symbolism, then we give them shiny little trinkets of symbolism while we smacking the fuck out of them.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Y'all like shit? Let me give you some more shit.
Let
Let me give you some sugar sprinkles on top of that shit.
Oh, you love it. You love it.
You love it.
And it works. It works. Hey, Ready Rock, is it your birthday? Did you just have a birthday? I was on Facebook earlier I saw your story and it looked like you was having a birthday. So is it your birthday right now, Ready Rock? Let me know what's going on with that. But yeah, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. That is what we are kind of beholden to. That's what we're driven by. That's what we kind of do. We own that, right? Like we like it a lot. It's just kind of how we move. And so once you understand that, then that is what you use to defeat somebody. It just is what it is. If you know,
You see Keisha in the comments. I'm so glad we hung up.
listen to black women doesn't mean silence anyone else. But if black women are not heard or believed when we speak up about
Sexism, rape, molestation, etc., then everyone should agree that black women should be listened to. How can you disagree with that? He knew not to start the conversation while I was on. See, she talking shit. If she listened, but this how interesting the nuance of the conversation is. I talked about the billboard just now. I said, listen to black women, period, right? And I said, that's not to minimize the value of black women, right? I said, but the entirety of the existence of black male life is being minimized by that same system. It validates black women by minimizing black men. Not that billboard, but the system itself. So it's a nuanced conversation, but this is how it works. That's why I was gonna wait to 3:49 to go in on her ass.
I gotta be honest with you, bro. I gotta be honest with you. It does have a hint of all lives matter in what you're saying.
No, it has a hint of.
And I'm not talking about the totality of the conversation. I'm specifically the billboard piece.
Mm-hmm.
That has a hint of all lives matter.
Meaning what?
All the billboard says listen to black women.
Right. So I'm gonna
in and of itself, that's perfectly fine.
About what? Why? About what? What validates them? Is because they're black? About what?
Just to listen to.
No, I'm just about what?
Because they're people.
Why?
About whatever, bro.
Okay, and if that's the stance, cool, right?
Right.
Now I'm gonna ask you, juxtapose that. Where do you find something? That statement is so broad and so blanketed.
Just like Black Lives Matter is a broad blanket statement.
No, not as blanket as that.
Yes.
Black Lives Matter and life matters.
Listen to black women. Listen to them.
About what? So stop talking and listen though. I'm asking you.
Listen to me. Listen to Black Herb.
I'm asking another question. I'm asking you to juxtapose that and tell me any other time, any time in the existence of your life that you've seen something so blatant adapted to black maleness.
It doesn't. You don't see it.
And that's the only point I'm making. But I don't give a. Let's say if we shun that entire world outside of us, right? Who put that billboard up there?
I'd imagine black women.
You out your fucking mind. I'd imagine the Democratic Party. And that's kind of the point I'm making. We're making decisions based off the system in which we are in, not recognizing the faultiness of the system. It's the Beach quote. How can you revolt against that in which you love? Right? And they're defining us for us instead of us defining us for us. That's the point I'm making. I'm never devaluing black women. That's not what I'm saying here. That's not what I said about the billboard at all. Because that's not real. That's not my reality. But the shit that we have access to is being leveraged by a whole nother system to tell us how to move and think. And it's so fucking effective. And you'd be foolish to think it's not effective. You can see it in all of the media, all of the messaging, all of that shit. It's the exact reason why we just had the conversation we just had, right? And this isn't the shit on black women, because this is black Keish. Man, Keish has had that Kamala Harris conversation 8 million motherfucking times, right? Look up Chantrice Jeffries. That's a black woman. That's a black woman, I'm sorry, right? Look up Chantrice Jeffries and her connection to Kamala Harris. And if you are a black woman,
That's the
I don't
woman
see
she
no
smoked.
fucking
Right.
way
Right.
you could align yourself with Kamala Harris. Right?
Right.
But that part of the conversation never comes out. It's never part of the dialogue. You know why? Because we aren't creating the narrative. The fact that she's born to an Indian mama and a Jamaican father, but it's also, this speaks to our lack of understanding identity, right? So the fact that she's born to an Indian mother and a Jamaican father, not only was it an Indian mother and Jamaican father, but she spent the vast majority of her formative years in Canada, in the wealthiest community in all of Canada. This is a woman born in 1950 some shit, maybe early 60s. Passport, she's black and got a passport and been traveling to XYZ countries by the time she was 15, 16. That experience ain't the same as ours.
100%. You know I don't fuck with Shorty, but that ain't the point I'm making, though.
But it's the point of how we're responding to it.
Okay, yeah.
Because we don't create the narrative.
Yeah, I agree with you
Right?
wholeheartedly on all the Kamala Harris shit.
But when you bring that to the forefront, everybody's like, well, that, yeah. Then we say shit like, well, we ain't a monolith. Motherfucking 1959, we was the most monolithic motherfuckers you could think of. We're a monolith right now. And check this out. Being a monolith ain't no negative shit.
No.
Unity is powerful. But it's how the narrative always gets
Especially
shaped.
when you were the bottom cast.
It's how the narrative
We
always
don't
gets
really
shaped.
have the luxury of you go do whatever the fuck you want to do, I go do it. That's the luxury that white people have. You know what I'm saying? To just wake up and just be. I could just be and just do whatever the fuck ever, and it just is what it is. We ain't in that space to have that kind of luxury. We have to be intentional and deliberate about the way we move, and it would behoove us to do so as a collective. As
Even if we
opposed to
get
a
away
bunch of
from the
individuals.
gender conversation, and I'm just talking about how narratives get shaped, right? You hear us spewing shit like we ain't a monolith. I'm so mad that we learned the goddamn word monolith. It irks the shit out
I'm
of me.
not even sure that we've learned it.
It irks the shit out of me.
Like just the way that it's used, and for people to say when we aren't and when we are, I'm not even sure we understand it. But I get your point. Stupid.
Yeah. So but it's everybody else shaping the narratives, right? And be clear though, if we recognize that this is a war designed to impale us at every level, then it would only be advantageous for whoever is the enemy to create dysfunction within the unit.
Of course.
And that's just what the fuck it is.
Of course.
And I don't, partially what Keish said is like, don't make this shit make you bitter. And that's the conversation I was trying to have with you yesterday. And part of what I was saying, like we should create a campaign, and not in a bitter way. Even when we walked out of here and somebody was like, man, you should join this group. And this person's in this group. My initial response was, I ain't fuck with that group because I know what that is. You know what I mean? Because everybody there is mad. That's not the point that's not how I'm trying to approach this, right? So let's leverage the shit that makes y'all feel good. If it's shiny shit, how do we create shiny shit that says, but look at this other shiny shit?
Or even better, if I can find somebody who looks like you, but whose ideology is aligned with me and mine, that's the ideal person for me to put in there and kind of lead y'all around. That is the ideal person that I want. Because they look like you and you're excited because they look like you, right? And they went to your school or whatever the hell it is, right? Or their wife is from the same side of a city you from, right? Like that kind of shit moves y'all. So let's put somebody like that into that space. That'll definitely quiet down all the noise, right? That'll calm everybody down. And it creates that dissension amongst us. And that's, again, that was what I'm saying. Like, that was what I was saying about our opportunity a couple months ago when there was so much dissension on the other side.
So Don is in the comments, and I'm saying this in love, Don. Don
D.
said,
Millie.
traveling is obtainable. Our family did it. I don't ever want to put it out there that I don't think black people can't do whatever, because that's not the reality, right? That's not what I'm saying. I've been to damn near, 42 states and several different countries. That's not normal for a kid from 95th Street. I recognize that, right? But I'm talking about black people in Jim Crow era, right? It would be hard pressed to find a black female doctor, which her mother is.
She's the vice president. That's
You'd be
all I need to know
hard-pressed
she ain't
find
like us.
a black woman in that era from a black family unit traveling country to country to country. That would be that would be an anomaly. It would absolutely be an anomaly, right? Today, you be hard pressed to find black people with passports. That's 2021,
Right.
right?
Adults.
If I go back to my neighborhood that I come from, if I was a betting man, out of my peer group, and I'm not saying anybody old out of different generation, I can't speak to that. But in my peer group, I'd say maybe 2 of us has traveled out of the country, out of the entirety of that whole community. So that's a rarity, right? The statistics say that like 70% of Americans in general don't go more than 8 miles past their house. That's the real statistics.
Yeah, that you're gonna
So
die.
you put that
You're
in
gonna die
black
within
community.
8 miles of where you were born.
Yeah, we know. We talk about the documentary we did not all the time. But there's the boy on 79th Street who I took downtown, and this motherfucker was like, where we at?
Dead ass.
Had no context of what downtown looked like because he ain't been past 55th Street. And he was in his 20s, right? That's our reality. So to think that you don't have that same kind of energy lingering in Jim Crow America, shit.
Yeah, no, that's a real. She's the vice president of the United States of America. In this, to this day, that still tells me something that she ain't like. Say what you want about America, and you can become whoever the fuck you want. You can't become the president or the vice president just because. That is some different experience shit. It ain't nobody coming from fucking where we come from to be in the places that Barack Obama and Kamala Harris
Not the
have
same.
found themselves.
And that's not to devalue where we come from. I got homies that are brilliant and geniuses, right? I got a partner that grew up on the very next block from me, went to Whitney Young, in turn went from Whitney Young to IMSA.
Should have been a dolphin, baby.
If you know anything about IMSA, like that's
Yeah.
Illinois Math and Science Academy.
Yeah.
Black people don't really go there.
Yeah.
That's some genius shit. You come up out of IMSA, you can go to any school in America. Harvard was sending this boy, come here, right? Ended up choosing Morehouse, went to Morehouse, left out of Morehouse, ended up Harvard was giving him offers. He declined Harvard. Ended up going to Chicago State. This true shit. Now he has his own doctor practice. This was the boy that grew up doing everything that I was fucking doing. Everything I was fucking doing. But brilliant. You know what I mean? So I'm not denying that at all. You know what I mean? But it's a different understanding. The Barack understanding, the Kamala, this is how irrational that shit is. Right? And we start to justify the shit. Barack Obama's life was Hawaii, Indonesia, Kansas. Kamala Harris's life was Oakland, Canada, Howard. Right? If we took how easy could you throw? You could throw a rock in a room of thousands of black people and not hit another motherfucker with that kind of experience. Like you could put 100,000 niggas of that era in one room and throw 15 rocks just up in the air. You would never hit another motherfucker with that experience.
No, that's real spill.
You wouldn't.
That's real spill. Asked my guy how he thought traveling the world found it hard to imagine
Hey,
to
I'm
imagine
been downtown.
past
That's a
downtown.
common verse.
Yeah.
That's true
Real
shit.
spill, bro. Like I've always said that though.
Oakland, right? I thought I said Oakland. My bad if I
you-
didn't.
No, you said Oakland about
Kamala.
Kamala. Yeah. Oaktown. Town business.
Yeah. It just was interesting to me.
Yeah, man. Like you know, I'm South Shore, bro. You can be downtown in 5 minutes. G. Like dead ass, you could be downtown in 5 minutes. In fact, I do it almost every day. Right? Like
I ride my bike down there. You can jog down there. It's not far though.
My neighborhood leads right into Lakeshore Drive. You can be downtown in fucking 5 minutes. I know hella people from my neighborhood today that hadn't just down, and they would just tell you like, what the fuck would I go down there for? Ain't shit down there for me, fam. Just go down there and just see it. It'll just open your brain up a little bit. Just go. It's 5 minutes that way, fam. Hell no. But I get it. That's the experience. Those are the circumstances that have been created for us, and that is kind of where we reside.
What'd you think of the manhood conversation?
Right, that's what I wanted to hit on. I thought it's cool, man. I think that's always a necessary conversation. We talk all the time about manhood not being this arbitrary number in terms of an age that you hit that then qualifies or deems you a man or born into manhood. Like, that's not a real thing. It's not 18. It's not 21. It ain't 25. Hell, it ain't 40. You know what I'm saying? It is about the preparation, what you're prepared to do, what you're able to do, how you move, right, within your community that can make you a man, right? And so I've seen 15, 16-year-old men, right? Unfortunately, now that's not an ideal situation. That's what life kind of forced them to be. And I've seen 45-year-old boys too. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely not an arbitrary number that says, okay, now I am a man. And so I thought the conversation was good. I want to read the book. I want to read the book. I thought the conversation was good, and for the most part, I thought that Dondre articulated his thoughts well, and most of it was things I agree with. I enjoy. It was, like I said, it was a very good page in the book of Don today.
So I thought it was a good conversation. I'm glad Don had it.
You should have just drove up here and hopped on the show.
Jesus, G, I wanted to. I swear to God, I was mad. Them goddamn comments got this.
So when she was doing her, field research, because Don is always thorough on everything. Y'all, we got a With the Book group text. Don texts that group every morning. Good morning, sunshines. And I can just hear it in her voice. Like, why is she so charged up? It's like 7:37. Like, be cool, Don. But anyhow, when she asked all the brothers, what's your definition of manhood? And I just couldn't wait for you to respond first. I was like, I'm gonna wait for Two. I think I might have responded first, but I was like, I'm gonna wait for Two to give his answer on this piece. I was just interested to hear it. But I didn't know that she was preparing for the show, that she was getting some information or background research, whatever, for the show today. So I thought it was really, really cool. So like I said, I was excited for her to even ask you that. Forget your response from that question. So I definitely thought you should have just drove up here and hopped in the conversation.
I should have. I really should have. I had to go to the dentist this morning. That's why I didn't. I missed some of the last end of the conversation because I was in the dentist chair. But
what did you think about it? Because I saw you in the comments. I saw you making some really good comments, and I saw you, pushing back as the pushback king does on some things. And I had started doing something else, and I came back and I saw you had a comment that was about it was like related to like sexuality and relationships and how we kind of relate in that way. And I kind of missed the lead up to that piece, but I thought that comment was poignant. I didn't know what it was speaking to though.
I think one of the things I don't disagree with most of the stuff the brother said. First of all, let me clarify that. But I think in context of the man experience, if we don't leverage race, it's a faulty conversation, right? I think that when you start looking at the black experience in America, I don't give a shit what gender you are. If you don't discuss race, whatever answer you come up with is false.
It's incomplete.
It's
for
incomplete
sure.
Because the paradigm it's like a maze that you put a mouse in. You know what I mean? The mouse think he has free will, but in reality, you're going to end up where you're supposed to end up.
Right. There's only one outcome to this.
There's only one outcome to this goddamn maze. You know what I mean? And I think, and it goes. It's one conversation for the day, really, because it ties into the Kamala Harris conversation as well, right? I think until we start to really become very critical of the system in which we living in, the social norms of today, and of the totality of this experience, we're gonna always kind of get these falsified objective answers. You know what I mean? Even in the conversation that the brothers was having in the private chat when Don asked us the question, I was driving when the question came, but I led off and she was like, "What's the question in itself was what's the difference between is there a difference between male and man?" You know, and I said what I've said on the show several times: male is really just having a penis, right? And manhood is something to be achieved. It's a goal, you know.
Did you hear one of the, I'm sorry. Did you hear one of the definitions because Don read some definitions about manhood at the very top of BOD?
She read all of the ones that we wrote.
And, well, no, not those. She did read all the ones that we wrote back. All the responses that she got back. But she was reading some other definitions. I don't know where these came from, Don. It was from I think some woman had come up with these definitions. I don't know where they were from. But one of them said specifically that it said manhood is something about defined. It said use the terms especially referring to the male species, right? Like as though it could be a woman. You know what I mean? It was like especially in the case of a male. And I was like, especially in the case of a male? Like only in the case of a male. Like you know what I'm saying? Like a woman cannot be a man. Like, stop with the bullshit, G. Like,
but think how pervasive narratives are and how they work.
it's like, what is womanhood? Oh, it's this, that, and the third. Especially in the case of a woman, but also in the case of some men like that. Like, hell nah, like that. So I don't know where that definition specifically came from, but I was just tweaking off that one.
Probably could have came out of any book written in the last 5 years, right? They've been trying to convince us for the last 5 years that you can choose your gender.
Yeah, you see all that they, them, like
Pick your pronoun.
like refer to me. I go by they, them. First of all, how the fuck do you go by they?
Because you can pick your pronoun now.
Yeah, but just we've all agreed that they is a plural word. We've all agreed that you are an individual, singular. Like, you aren't they, motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's no semblance of health to fully assimilate into an insane society.
I can't get with it, and I am extremely like liberal in terms of sexuality and all. Like, do whatever the fuck you want to do, but don't miss me with this foolishness though. I'm also a real common sense dude. And the second I decide that something don't make fucking sense, I'm completely done with it. I don't give a fuck what it is. That's just how I am. And so this whole idea of, like, I identify as a woman, sir, you're 6'4", 250 with a full goatee. Like, get the fuck out of my face with that bullshit, fam. Like, that's not a real thing. It's not. It's not a real thing. I got women in my life that I love dearly that identify as like studs and all that. They dress just like I dress. We like the same shit. We watch the game. We slap high fives. We do all the silly shit, right? She's still a woman though. Like, let's, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't gonna tell me that you are a man. Like, that's not a real thing, G. That's not a real thing. You tweaking.
So I'm went back. I didn't hear all of that part of the stuff, but I'm in the text message that Don sent out this morning. I'm just gonna read some of the other answers
Morning
that the rest of the brothers gave. So Ron Rilla said, a male is just the name of a sex, gender. A man is fully mature male. My definition of man and his characteristics are his willingness to be a provider and a protector. A man knows and feels that it's his duty to create legacy and pass down to the next generation. Now I'm going to read the very next definition, which was Sadiq. And I ain't going to read all of them, but I think these were interesting to juxtapose each other. So male is defined by gender of a species of a man, is a set of characteristics and function based on the dominant culture of the era. In ancient melanated cultures, wisdom, discernment, and mastery of elemental forces were the foundational things that defined a man and were taught and tested in rites of passage. In modern Euro culture, manhood is defined by overly aggressive, non-balanced behaviors, storm the capital, hoarding resources, who has the most, and lack of understanding, preferences for war, suppression, oppression of perceived lesser species. Mm-hmm. Now I read those two on purpose. Mm-hmm. Ron is the youngest out of all the guys engaged.
Shout out to Lil Bro, for sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. And this isn't to shit on Ron. I love Ron, right? Because this is a very normative conversation even in our community, right? At the core of Ron's definition is protector and provider. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said we have to start engaging in the social norms and understanding of the social environment in which we are in, right? Mm-hmm. So up under the construct of protector and provider, this isn't like, a hunter-gatherer society. You're not going out and chasing a motherfucking deer to bring back food to your house. Mm-hmm. What you're doing is you're going out and chasing a bag to bring back resources to your house, right? And who controls the bag? When you start thinking about the wealth in America, where 98% of the wealth in America is in the hands of white men, right? And the other 2% is scattered amongst everybody else. And everybody else, with us being at the bottom of that resource totem pole. If that is the definitive of man and manhood, then how could black men ever be men? I think that's a question we got to ask ourselves. And going back to the listen to black women, going back to the differences in the dynamic of black manhood and female and womanhood, I don't think we show up as men when that is the definitive.
Yeah, I think that also, it speaks to what we aspire to, as a society, right? As a people. Like, so if we weren't so aspirational to all of the capitalist bullshit that we are, so we aspire to have, right? If we weren't like that, then the definition would be just fine, right? To protect and provide. The provide what? The what becomes the question. You know what I mean? And so if it's just, I'm going to provide a place for us to seek shelter or food on the table or whatever, right? Then that's one thing.
It's
but it
security at its
becomes
core.
what it is that, like, can you provide this type of house? Can you make sure that we eat this type of meal every day? Can you make sure we dress like this? Can we drive this kind of car? Can we take these types of trips? You know what I mean? So the what becomes the qualifying question that we need to ask. Because if the what wasn't so aspirational, if the what was just to have your basic needs met, then I think the definition works just fine, and black man can then qualify even in this system. But since the aspirations are so high, then the system that we're in, this American construct that kind of keeps its foot on the throat of black men, makes it impossible for you to provide that level of what.
So, and I'm going to go right back into this Kamala Harris-Joe Biden election because they're neoliberals, right? And I'm going to go right back into why I disagree with that statement you made, right? Because we know the numbers. We know that dual income earning black families rarely bust $50,000. 60% of us rarely bust $50,000 a year, right? That's income. We know we ain't got no fucking wealth. Ain't nobody leaving us shit.
Right.
You from 18 to however young you start.
That's you.
That's you, fam. It's on you. And matter of fact, in most instances, you're going to have to take care of somebody who becomes an elderly person. So that's on you too.
That's on you.
Right? So you're starting that deficit and you're going to incur much more deficits. There's a study that came out not too long ago that the average American, so this don't even include black folks, but it does include black folks, but if we really know the numbers, we know this shit is way more staggering for us.
Sure.
The average American can't incur a $400 bill that was unexpected. It was set their ass back for eons, right? So we know, if we know the math with us, then we know that the reality of that $400 unexpected bill would shatter our asses. You understand what I'm saying? Now, granted, this is some but not all, right? This is not a one-size-fits-all conversation.
Sure.
But we know for a fact that at least 60% of us is below the 50,000 mark with dual income earning, right? So we going on singular income earning, that number probably shoots to 80-something or some shit like that, where we don't really get it to 50. You know what I mean? So if those are the numbers, and we think about it like this, in Chicago, and when we think about where black people are in America, it's Chicago, the big metropolitan areas. Sure. You know what I mean? And if you know anything about living expenses, Chicago is probably one of the fairest cities to live in, right? It just is. And we think it's expensive because we ain't really experienced other shit. But go to San Francisco, go to New York, go to L.A., it's a whole different experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Chicago's expensive, though. It ain't San Francisco or New York expensive.
In context to those places where we are.
Yeah. I mean, it's a world-class city.
Right. But it's just doing the math. This is just a math equation. You know what I mean? So the average one-bedroom apartment in Chicago is what? $1,300? So if you only making $25,000 a year, and just an apartment is $1,300 a month. This is just the rent. This ain't lights. This ain't heat. This ain't food. This ain't travel. This ain't none of the other shit that goes with it.
Right.
And then the expenses of black life because poverty costs a lot of money. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Living in the food
it's
desert
expensive to be broke.
costs a lot of money.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So when you start to add all that shit together, you know what I mean? If protection and security are at the prominence of what makes a man, then how the fuck could we possibly add up to the narrative? We can't. And we'd be foolish to think that we aren't affected by the narrative of the social norm.
Oh, 100%.
We are.
Absolutely, we are.
I've been the nigga with the nice guy at the club. This is a different response.
It matters.
It matters.
It does.
It does matter, right?
Yes.
So, but that don't make me a good guy. Don't make me shit. I've been a nice shit nigga for a long time. I did that for a long time, and it worked just perfectly because I had the fucking trinkets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I ain't wearing that as no badge of honor.
It's just the truth.
But it's in the context of having the conversation. And
there was a whole term growing up called car booties. Like that was a real thing. Like she's a car booty.
And it's
So if
not,
you have a car,
but this, and I know because how the conversation usually goes, this is not the shit on ladies either. This is about the social norm,
right?
The social norm is the social norm.
Right.
One of the things the brother said, and I saw you respond to it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, "What if you got 8 cars? What the fuck is the value of that? If you got 100 pair of J's, what the
He
fuck
like,
is
well,
the
who
value
need
of that?
250? If we
You
gonna
ain't-
do a 250
you
pair
ain't
of J's,
You ain't no man if you do that. But if
I'm
you
like,
operating within the social
shit.
norm of America,
go get 115 more pair of J's and rock one every day.
but to the point of the social norm of America, if you have 8 vehicles, the average woman is going to look at you and say, not that you have 8 vehicles, you can protect and provide for me.
Mm-hmm.
You can make my life easier. You can create a level of safety for me, i.e., you're a hunter and you are doing well at going out to get the bag, hunting the bag.
Yeah.
And I agree with the brother, and he said that don't make you no good guy, and I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, don't make you
but
shit.
the social
But it
norm
does-
says that's the valuable guy.
Does make you have 14 cars.
Yeah. And the social norm says that's the guy.
Yeah, I would like 2 weeks worth of vehicles.
And the social norm is gonna say that's the guy. Period.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're doing the math on the reality of our existence, our shit don't add up.
Yeah, no, I used to be crazy about cars like that. I used to have a whole list of cars that I wanted. I'm not like that no more, to where I aspire to that. But you know, I don't. You know, you got 14 cars, then good for you.
Straight up. And
Walk in the garage.
Adrian, shout out to Adrian. That's honest, right? It says not just for her, but any future children she may have. That's true. Right? It validates the value of that person.
Oh, yeah.
He might be a completely ain't shit person. But see, when you start to get to shit like character, the shit that really matters, we don't count that as a value asset.
What Chris Rock again? What did he say? He said it's like the uncle who paid for you to go to college, but he molested you. You know what I mean? Like,
he fucking you over. But that's what we value.
Everybody knows.
So I'm not disagreeing with the homie who wrote the book at all. Most of the shit I fully am in alignment with. But until we address the government, the social narrative and the social norms of America, and all of those things are rooted in 3 things. The 3 things that King talked about, the 3 things that Obama and Kamala don't identify with. Racism, militarism, and capitalism. And the reason why I said that second quote, the second answer, which Sadiq answered, is because he didn't say it in those words, but he specifically brought it back to that concept when he said, when you start thinking about the European Western world construct of masculinity, of manhood.
Right.
And that's exactly what it's based in. And we are products of the European Western world construct. And we be lying to ourselves to say that we were. So when you see a man show up in a proper polarity spiritually, the average motherfucker wouldn't have no value for that person.
Agreed.
Because he was shunned most of that shit.
Yeah, agreed. I think that is a real thing. And listen, y'all, if y'all did not catch today's episode of Book of Dawn, y'all make sure y'all go back and watch it. It is uploaded on the page. You can catch it on the What's in It for the Black People Media Facebook page, or you can check it out on YouTube. That's the YouTube page is still the Mace Jackson page. You can check it out the Mace Jackson page on YouTube as well. Shout out to everybody that is tuned in right now on YouTube. We appreciate y'all. We see y'all out there, and we appreciate y'all. Also, if you're tuning in later and you catch it after work or whatever, we appreciate y'all as well for checking out the show. Thank y'all so very, very much. But y'all make sure y'all go back and check out today's page on the Book of Dawn. Definitely a worthwhile conversation.
Definitely was. But it just really more importantly, what it did was inspired me to keep fucking writing my book. I got to fucking finish. Yeah. There's too many voices. I don't want to say it's too many voices out there, but I just think another voice needs to be heard. And I think I got some ideas that's worthwhile.
Yeah, no, that's real spill. That's real spill. Don say, let's make a weftable manhood guy.
Yeah, but again, I'm a student, right? And as a student, when how I responded, you know what I mean? You can't achieve manhood until you master the environment which you inherited.
Right.
And for us to master this environment, it looks like we got to destroy this motherfucker and rebuild it.
That's it, man.
So, you know, even if I'm
was right there for us,
quantifying it by my own standard, then I ain't reached manhood yet.
Yeah, no, it was right there though. It was right.
It wasn't right there.
It was right there, bro.
No, it wasn't right there, bro. It was not.
Now, it wasn't if you take in terms of did we do the work to organize to be able to seize the moment? No. Then we weren't that close to being able to do it. But was the opportunity there? Absolutely. right there. I've been telling you it was going to be there for 4 years.
It was just another step in the process. Just like today, it's just another step in the process. It still doesn't equate to what I'm saying. It doesn't equate to what I'm saying, right? And I think that's the difference. Again, we can throw a monkey wrench in the system, but throwing a monkey wrench in the system isn't destroying the system, right? We can't even have a fucking real conversation with our own community today about the evils of said system and how it affects us. So to think, because even if we stop the election in totality, it's just it's a wrinkle in the sheet, nigga.
Yeah.
We would have stripped the shit off the bed. So it's a lot of work to be done. And it's going to happen over time. It's eons and eons over time. And I'm not negating the value of black people because we are magical motherfuckers.
Beast.
Right?
Any other group of people would have been extinct from this fucking country.
We
a
magical.
long time
And
ago.
with all the shit that bothers me about us, there's other shit that I fully, absolutely adore about
Black
us.
shit is lit. I love it.
Yeah, it's absolutely, it's a beautiful experience, but this is part of the process. Having that honest conversation about our situations, about where we are, honestly, like I just said, if the definitive of manhood is mastering environment, and I can openly say, then I ain't achieved manhood yet. Because to master this shit, you got to essentially destroy it.
Yeah, but it's about getting up. It's about getting up and eagerly, aggressively, pursuing that fight. You know what I mean? It's about taking that fight to them every single day. And if that's what you're doing, then I would say you absolutely are standing in your proper polarity as a man, right? To just like you constant I might not beat this fucking lion every day, but I'm gonna wake up and fight the shit out of his ass every fucking day.
Man, you ever seen the 5150 show?
Yeah. Shout out to Corey Holcomb.
So
man.
shout out to Corey Holcomb, right? But
Chi-Town comedy.
So one of Corey Holcomb's standardized guests is this cat named Zoe Williams, right? I think Zoe Williams is motherfucking brilliant. Brilliant. You understand me? I don't say that about a lot of motherfuckers.
No, you don't.
I think that motherfucker
Mostly
is
just two.
brilliant. I only say that about me.
I'm just talking shit.
But
Come on.
I think dude is brilliant.
Yeah.
Last week, him and Corey got into a feud on the show, right? And they boys. Like, for real, they boys. Right? But, just like sometimes with your boy, for real, you overstep. You know what I mean?
You go too far.
They go
or
too
you catch
far.
a motherfucker in a bad mood and they don't accept some shit they normally accept.
Shit just go the wrong way.
Goes left.
You know what I mean? But to overstep publicly,
It's different.
it's some different shit. Right?
That creates that's what creates the energy. A lot of times you get into it with your partner. Very, very rarely do you fight your partner when it's only you and your partner around. Like, very rarely. Like, y'all can usually figure out a way to get past this shit.
So that depends on who your partner is. I done had a bunch of
I've had one
privately.
fight with one of my partners where there was nobody else around. Any other time I've gotten into it with my partners, somebody else was around, either to gas this shit or that was kind of the underbelly of like why we were responding to each other the way we respond to each other.
That ain't my
it's
experience.
All right.
Most of my fights with my real partners,
It was just y'all two.
us. We was tearing shit up. It was some real
Now,
shit.
did it come from some shit that was early? Like, okay, I'm gonna let it pass because we out here, but when I'm fucking you up later. You know what
I
I'm saying?
can't even specifically speak to where it started, but when it
'Cause
ended, it was usually
like,
just us.
Usually you can kind of like kill that shit. Like, all right, bro, I ain't even finna go there with you. Like, you kill that shit at some point. But when there's an audience, right? There's a bunch of females around, or there's some niggas just gassing it. Then now you ain't gonna take his shit. You know what I'm saying? Now you end up fighting on some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
But I bring up these two guys, right? Because the 5150 show, there's this kind of aggressive, kind of masculine
Yeah, there's a bravado
conversation.
shit to it.
It's a lot of bravado shit. And a lot of that shit comes from Corey.
Yeah,
I'm going to
Corey-
smack the shit out of Stephen A. Smith when I see him.
Corey's like that.
I get it. He a Robert Taylor nigga. I get it.
He
I
be
fuck
half
with him.
drunk, fake drunk, just popping off. Like,
I fuck with him though. I fuck with his comedy. I like Corey, right? But liking Corey as a comic is one thing. I fuck with Zoe in regards to his philosophy on life.
he deserved that, Boosie.
I fuck with Zoe on his philosophy of life. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But they got into a public feud on camera about another friend of theirs who Corey was shitting on publicly while he wasn't there, which ain't no cool shit to do. And Zoe was like, basically, man, I met this nigga through you, and I like the nigga, and he cool nigga.
Right.
And it turned the tide, because now Corey's feeling threatened, because it's like, wait, man, you right, you did meet him through me. You'll never join his side over my side.
Right.
That kind of shit.
Period.
And Zoe said, well, man, you got to call yourself on your own bullshit. There's a lot of shit you say that you don't really do. You know what I mean? Then Corey goes back to Zoe, and they go back and forth. They back, and it gets to a point where Zoe wants to fight this motherfucker.
Did anybody stand up?
No.
Okay, cool.
But they in there like they had their mask on at first. Zoe takes his mask off, and it's just that.
You can feel it. You
Like,
can feel it. Right.
I'm about to beat your ass in 1 second. You know what I mean? That man shit when you know it's
Of
to
course.
the cup. And Corey's over there like, all right, nigga.
That's how niggas do it. They start like we real territorial. That's how our
Yeah,
nature
you done
is
invaded
territorial.
my personal
So now
space.
we start coming in your space.
Getting
like,
closer and
like,
closer.
That's how we
And one of
threaten
us
each
is
other.
finna fight. It's finna happen.
Like eventually you're gonna get too far in my space. I'm gonna foul you, fam. Like
I'm finna fire. But the only reason I'm bringing this whole shit up, right? Been a fan of this show for however many years. Fan of Zoe's personal show for however many years, right? I don't know nothing about that man's personal life.
right.
I just know his intellect is fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I just know the way he crafts conversations is fucking amazing. I just know the frequency of thought that motherfucker's operating on is a fucking amazing. The wavelength that he's on, I don't know too many people on.
Yeah.
That shit is amazing.
Yeah.
Right? And not only is it amazing, but it's relatable.
Yeah.
Right? It's not over your fucking head. It's relatable. The shit goes down the way it goes down. They not fucking with each other. However, they not fucking with each other. Zoe does another, not a response video, but he goes back to his own show, and he says, hey, let me explain to you who the fuck I am. Right? Goes through this diatribe about who he is. He's shitting on Corey, but by speaking about himself. Not necessarily saying Corey's name.
Right.
Not bringing up nothing personally about Corey, just the kind of man that he thinks
Right.
Corey is setting himself up to be.
Right.
Corey comes back the very next day to his shit. And he out Zoe personally, because Corey don't have the intellect that Zoe has. He can't communicate
Right.
in the way that Zoe communicates.
Right.
And he's a different kind of dude. He's a comedian.
He's a comedian who has
And it's a low-hanging fruit kind of comedy.
He's got
right?
he's got like 100-word vocabulary.
Yeah, it's some gutter kind of comedy.
Yeah.
Not to say it's not funny, because it is.
It's hilarious.
It's fucking hilarious.
He's fucking hilarious.
But it's not intellectually driven. He's not Chris
he ain't
Rock.
Chris Rock.
You know what I'm saying?
Corey Holcomb.
He's Corey Holcomb, right? And not to shit on him, because there's
I
value there.
fuck with him. Like I really fuck with the dude.
But Corey doubles back, G. And this is his 10-year partner. And they talking on a public platform. He talks about how he ain't no fucking man because he ain't got no money.
Yeah, I just saw Milton say something about 20 G's. What was that about?
It was about a lawsuit that they caught together because of some shit that happened. And whatever, we'll go through that later.
Okay, cool.
But my point is he goes into the man ain't got no money. He goes into the man that's living off a woman. He goes into all this other shit, right? Very personal shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Got a T-shirt made for the show to say
You petty as hell.
some petty, super petty
Because
shit.
I can't go here with you intellectually in the conversation. So let's come down here.
Let's come down here.
So let's stay where I'm comfortable at. Let's throw these gunshots.
Now, in my internal heart and soul, from my partner,
Right.
that would fuck with me,
Yeah, no, that's not
right?
cool.
That wouldn't.
That's not cool.
I'm going to beat your ass.
That's
at this
not
point,
cool.
right? Yeah. Now all I can do is get low. I got to get low with you.
Oh, we got.
and
That's
the
where
only
we
low
at.
we can go now is I got to beat your ass.
That's where we are now.
That's where we are now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at the responses to this shit because there was a lot of people that was back and forth choosing sides and picking teams, and it just let me know how dysfunctional we fucking are. Just to the statement of what makes a man.
Yeah.
Like once Corey put that perspective of Zoe out in the atmosphere, his intellect didn't mean shit. All that shit that you've been listening to for the last X and Y years,
Right.
because it's driving you're learning shit from this man.
Right.
Now you might listen to Corey and you're laughing, but you learning. If I'm learning shit,
Right.
your dumb ass shit, you should be learning some shit from dude.
Right.
There's a value attached to dude's conversation.
Right.
The shit that he says is elevating my life, so I'm assuming if you're tuning in, you're getting something out of that.
Right.
You could see the comments, and you could see the split. Like, man, there's a lot of people rocking with Zoe Williams,
Sure.
but there's also a lot of people like, man, that dude ain't shit. He weak. He a weak link. He ain't shit. He ain't this. He ain't that. And it just speaks to the conversation, even to the little Ron point. You ain't a man unless you can protect and provide, and that's a falsehood. Specifically, when you consider the paradigm. If I was to just have the option of spending time with either one of those men, I'm not choosing Corey, bro.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Cool dude, hilarious.
Right.
But if I want to get something out of this deal,
Right.
the value asset would be standing next to this other nigga. You know what I mean? Standing next to this other nigga is the valued asset.
Like I view them the same as we talk about music. You know what I'm saying? Like, what time of the day is it? Now I can tell you which one of these niggas I want to hang with. Like what time is it?
Yeah, but
You know
see,
what I'm saying?
that shit permeates with me, man, because here's some real, like, some honest truth, right? See, my old man, when my father died, he was honored as one of the Black history makers of Chicago. Like, legitimately, he's in
And
the history
rightfully
books.
so.
Rightfully so. But, nigga, we had heatless summers. I mean, heatless winters, right? I remember family members like, well, I know y'all ain't going to be able to do because of your, you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck you talking to, dog? You know what I mean? But this shit,
Real spill, though.
when I look at him, it was a level of honor and respect that I have for him.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But that shit didn't permeate throughout the network of even my family, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if my mama saw that man as a man. And that shit is troublesome.
Yeah.
Right? Greatest influence on my whole fucking life.
Right.
Right? So,
But everybody else is judging him off of a different
standard.
Yeah, not even a different standard, it's a whole different like scale. I can't think of the word. I'm drawing a blank on what I want to say. But it's a whole different like litmus test of how they deem him valuable. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's that's the reality though, right? That is the reality. Most people in our society are going to quantify your value based off material shit. That's where the value is going to come from. And so, you know, if we're talking about not having heat in the winter, or if we're talking about, you know, not dying a rich man or some shit like that, then most people are like, wasted your fucking time. What was you here for, right? What Lil Wayne say? Life is 2 points. Your birth and your death, get money in between it is the only, you know what I mean? Like nah, that is the only barometer.
2 dates in the dash.
Yeah, 2 dates in the dash. Like that's the only barometer for whether or not that dash was worthwhile or not. You know what I mean? And you know, we know that's not true because we say all the time, Dr. King died broke. Malcolm X died broke. You know what I mean? Like so.
We just pulled up the Stokely video. Stokely died broke.
You know what I'm saying? We can't say that those are three men whose lives didn't matter, who didn't accomplish shit, who were not valuable or valued. That's complete bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, based off that barometer that we use today.
Even in the movie we just checked out the other day, Sam Cooke was getting money.
Yeah.
Sam Cooke was in that room at that moment. He was probably getting money more than anybody else in that room.
No, NFL wasn't paying like that. I mean,
right.
It was paying, but it
and
wasn't
Ali
paying like
just
music.
won his first fucking fight, so
yeah, it wasn't.
He
paying
wasn't
like
getting
music
like Sam.
like that. Yeah, like nah.
True.
Yeah, hell no. Nah. We ain't talking about Money Mayweather and fucking Derrick Henry playing running back. Like
it's
this
a very different conversation.
About the 50s, fam.
Them motherfuckers
like
was
60s.
playing football. When they finished that season, they went to work.
Gotta work, fam.
They went to the post office.
Yeah, you going to work, fam. I know you just had knee surgery. Go to work.
Walter Beach, Godfather Walter Beach, was on them teams.
He was on the Super Bowl championship team for
and
the
he
Browns
had
with
stories
Jim Brown.
about when the season was over where he had to go.
Go to work, fam.
Go to work, fam.
That's why niggas talk about like, oh, why Jim Brown went to acting. It wasn't that hard of a decision back then.
I'm not getting no fucking money, cuz.
Like, it wasn't that hard of a decision. And they not treating me, they not respecting me as a motherfucking man. Fuck y'all, I'm done. 2, I make more money in Hollywood than I do in the NFL. And nobody's hitting me, fam. I don't know if you ever played running back in your life. That is the most physically demanding fucking position in sports.
I ain't never played football with pads on. Like, I ain't never played on a team.
Running back in football, and I would also say that being a catcher in baseball are probably the 2 most taxing, and that's no disrespect to like offensive linemen and defensive linemen because the shit they do in them trenches is absolutely ridiculous. But running backs get hit every single play. It do not matter. So to take that beating, man, fuck that. I don't make no money to do it. Hell no, I'm out. Right? As soon as I don't love this game a whole lot no more, I'm done with it. You know what I'm saying?
And to the point that Mays always makes, I'm making these statements, but I don't got no fucking vow of poverty on me either. You know what I'm saying? Be clear about that shit. That's not the argument I'm making. Right? I'm trying
cool shit.
I'm trying to adjust the best way I can within the paradigm. You know what I mean?
I like cool shit. Dude said, what you need 250 Jordans for? I'm like, nah, you need 365. I want one every day.
Yeah, you got to adjust in the paradigm, right?
Yeah, so don't get me wrong.
But at the same time, no.
Don't get me wrong.
And this is
fresh as hell when we out here doing
some self-reflection shit, right? This is some self-reflection shit. Like I look at the life, and I'm specifically speaking about manhood and masculinity, right? I look at the life I lived up under my father's tutelage. Then I look at the life my son lives up under my tutelage. My son has access to shit I couldn't have imagined having access to. You know what I mean? Couldn't imagine having access to when I love my baby boy to death. But him at 15 versus me at 15, I'm way more worried about who the fuck he's gonna be than I would have been about who I was gonna be at 15. And I'm trying to have the perspective of maybe I really couldn't see me clearly through the eyes of an adult.
Sure.
Right? But we were very different
And
guys.
it's a different world.
That
bro.
had a very different understanding. But see, here's the thing though. And this is why I want us to have these dialogues continuously. It is a different world. But it's not a different world in the context of how we use that statement. It's a different world. It's a different world in the context that shit is going to be worse for him. As shit was worse for me than it was for my father. We don't equate it in the same, we don't value it in the same way. But my grandfather, I talk about it all the time. He got the GI Bill, built that motherfucking house, which became an anchoring for our entirety of our family. You know what I mean? My aunt lives in the house today. You know what I mean? My granddaddy worked on cars for his whole life. Took care of household of 5 motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about working on cars in the garage. Not at no dealership or no car company or no shit like that. I'm talking about motherfuckers pulled up to the back alley. And pay him to fix this water
Neighborhood
pump.
mechanics.
Neighborhood mechanic shit. Right?
I love neighborhood
And
mechanics.
played in the jazz band. That was how he took care of his children.
It is one of my aspirations to build a neighborhood garage in South Shore using mostly the fucking street mechanics that be in that parking lot at the AutoZone on 76 and Stony Island. Give they ass a screwdriver and some duct tape. They will fix any fucking thing on your car, bro. Any fucking thing on your car.
They will today. But this is what I mean when I say the world that they inherit is going to be worse.
They gonna be drunk while they doing it.
No, but see, this is why I say the world they inherit is going to be worse.
Any fucking thing.
But look, though, G.
Except these new cars.
But look, though, G.
You gotta hook them up to
you
computers
can't-
and shit.
You can't fix no Tesla with no screwdriver, my nigga.
That's what I'm saying. These new cars, like
And
now,
that's my point.
Now, I used to be able to, like, okay, pull up. Now, like, I need you. You gotta hook up the fucking car to a computer to even know what's fucking
That's my
wrong
point.
with
Now
shit.
you got to be a goddamn computer engineer.
Right.
Now you got to know code to fix a. That's going to be the world that our children inherit.
Now you got motherfuckers with clean hands fixing your car. That's weird as hell to me.
Motherfuckers don't got to see your car to fix your
That's
car.
what I'm saying. Like,
They're fixing your car like I'm playing with my computer
motherfuckers
right
got on
now.
Glasses and fixing your fucking car. You good? You can go. You go ahead on now. Right? You ain't gotta get out your car. You can go ahead on now.
Now think about that in the
I need the motherfuckers
context.
fixing my car to have the dirtiest hands I've ever seen.
And I don't want to negate the value of a mechanic because I think a mechanic has imperial value, right? But check this shit out though, right? We be honest. If we're being honest, that's a minimal job in our communities. Like, ain't motherfuckers ain't aspiring to be the mechanic. They really not, right? So if that's low level, right? If we deem that as low level, if our perspective is that's low level, when the motherfucker who in 10 years from now who fixes your car on somebody's computer, and we know that 1 in 5 black households still to this day has a computer, only 1 in 5.
Yeah,
When them schools went down, when COVID showed up, it's our children who are suffering behind digital learning because we didn't have fucking computers in our house. They was doing their fucking homework from cell phones. And it's not the same. The cell phone gives you an opportunity to use it as a what they call that shit, front facing consumer. Right? But you have to have the actual equipment to ever learn how to build it, to ever learn how to actually do some shit on here. Right? So 1 in 5 black households have a computer. When I say in 10 years from now, when the goddamn mechanic job is going to be based in the computer, we behind the curve. So the word that my son is going to inherit is going to be harder on him. He's going to have a greater yield and skill.
That ball gets kicked further and further down the road each time. And so for your father's generation, whatever amount of money could have took care of a household, your generation, my generation, that shit is fucking different, right? You need more than that. And so it's going to be the same thing for Eric. He's going to need more than we fucking need. You know what I mean?
Way more.
Yeah, like-
And not just way more information, way more hustle, way more work ethic, way more audacity, because the options
know
are
about
going to
that.
be way less.
I don't know about that.
Shit.
I don't know. I don't know that it's going to take way more hustle and work ethic, right? Because you can go direct to consumer now in a way that's different than you ever been able to do before. That is not to negate the hustle and effort that goes into that piece, right? I'm just saying there's a different way of doing things that kind of streamlines your ability to get to your hustle. You know what I mean? That's a little bit different than it was, say, in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s even, right? Let's take a quick break, man. When we come back from this break, I want to give someone some flowers, man. I want to give someone some flowers while they are still here. Someone who I've appreciated immensely over the course of this past year. Also want to talk about there's a versus battle tonight, and there's also Shannon, RO Double, Adrian. I know that y'all came up with this a long time ago. I know y'all said third Thursday a long time ago. But how did y'all schedule the first Is Wiz Book Club meeting, talk, review on the same day as the versus battle, at the same time as the versus battle? Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, ladies. We got to do better. So I said what I said. We'll take a break.
I'm blessed.
Church Chicago's Power Hour.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
your host, Angie Mims, and
Terrence Keys.
TD, a.k.a. Terrence Daniels.
you got an inspirational word for today?
Oh, man, I'll be honored. Giving honor to God. Hey, man, on Sunday morning, it's early, so we got to give honor to God.
Yes, sir.
The good word for today is don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes in our life, in our walk, in our days, in our journeys, we find a way to just worry about so many things. And we just want to encourage you today that those worries is God's responsibility. It's God's responsibility, because at the end of the day, what we worry about, most times we can't handle.
Yes.
If we would agree together, we can't handle it, so we have to give it to God. That's his responsibility. And our job is to simply believe.
Yes.
Simply believe. When we believe, the Bible says all things are possible.
Come on through here.
I better leave that alone. I feel my seat.
Preaching already.
You feel it?
See coming.
So be anxious for nothing. Even the Bible says don't worry about anything. In Matthew 6:33, it says don't worry about anything, but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these other things be added unto you. So we're here to encourage you.
Joined by Dartisha Pitts, Esquire. I asked you to join us on the Book of Dawn because you are that girl. And I wish more of us did take the time to honor each other as women and successful women, because our unity, I truly believe that. Dartisha Pitts serves as the General Counsel for the Office of the Illinois Lieutenant Governor. In 2017-18, she served as the President of the Cook County Bar Association.
Becoming an attorney was almost default. I think it was more so a personality thing. I always wanted to advocate for those who couldn't advocate for themselves. And growing up, I would get in trouble for that. Because my mom, be like, look, they're not even talking and you talking, you be quiet. I kind of almost felt the injustice for others, sometimes even more than I feel the injustice for myself. I would say in high school, I was the sophomore class president. So I've always taken leadership positions to push the voice of my colleagues. I'm also from the South Side. I've seen so many injustices that I always felt like our community, our families, where do you go? I've seen and been victim of from family where you've been victim of a slumlord. How do you address and get a remedy in that situation? I grew up in an environment where the police would be in the community and you would see the police harass those on the block for no reason. How do you get a remedy? Everybody talked about a lawyer, but nobody knew how to access one directly. And I think that was my drive to continue to be an advocate. I didn't know it was going to be a lawyer, though.
You apply and get accepted at Northern Illinois College of Law. Did you go directly after undergrad to law school?
No, I actually, right after undergrad, I moved to Washington, D.C., to work at a international law firm, Skadden Arps, Slate Marn Flom, in their corporate section. And I was a legal assistant for a year. When I got there and I realized how much I was making and how much those attorneys were making, who did go straight through, they weren't that much older than me, that influenced my law school trajectory. But I realized that although they did well, the type of work was not meaningful and purposeful enough for me. I wanted to be connected to the community. So I came back home and went to law school. I took 2 years out in between undergrad and law school.
And you not only complete as many do, but you actually then take and pass the bar. Because that's the trick.
Yes.
Lots
on the first try.
There you go. A full anomaly right there. And I think it discourages some potential students or people from going into law because that bar exam is, first of all, not easy to pass on the third try, but for somebody to pass it on the first try is indeed confirmation that you were doing what you were supposed to do.
Yep.
The Book of Dawn, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on What's In It for the Black People Media.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like Maze said. Randy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart.
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this thing.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth. Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
WIFT. That's why we shine wherever we go. 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 Lord, Lord. Welcome to the mind of a pothead. On my head, see a young nigga got dressed. We don't give a fuck what the cop said. I'm living a legacy. So even when I die, I am not dead. Nigga, I am not dead. Fuck with me.
Snoop like that chronic, I need something stronger. Molly cute, that's like an aspirin for my daughter. Big time, in the club with a case of Ace. And now I sniff that whole table. Scarface, another court case. I'm a frequent offender. When Wyclef was hot, I was gone to November. 6 years, hard time. Bobby was fucking up, Whitney could have been mine. We would have been so high and so in love. When Amy Winehouse died, I could have saved her. I could have smoked like half of that. She wouldn't have had to go in cardiac arrest. Hands up under her dress. Lindsay Lohan her mess, but I still go above her breasts. I must confess, I heard from a little birdie. Bring some crystal meth, you can get that from Fergie. Had a real nice dream, me and Charlie Sheen. Few Playboy bras, I was high in Rob Ford. Brick after brick, like Shaq at the free throw. I stayed hard, I put coke in my pee hole. You bout that life? I'm bout that life. You ain't really bout that life. If you really bout that life, with me. Let me test your word. T.I., I'm trying to get high. Let me test your word. Birdman,
Bring it back, man.
If we did that shit in real life, dog. Oh my God.
You wanna do it?
I do kinda.
You wanna
but
do
we'll
it?
be bad, G. We'll be bad for real. That shit Reese and them did the other day would be nothing.
Hey, we should do it.
Oh shit.
Hey, me and Two thinking about putting together
No, no, we not. No, we not.
a cluck assault. If I said what I said, we both gonna bring our favorite clucks on the show.
A what, sir? What did you say?
A
sir?
cluck assault.
He said a cluck assault.
A cluck assault. It's an episode of Is Wiz featuring our favorite clucks.
Hey, Dolphins is filled with wisdom. They've lived some amazing lives.
Hey, they've lived 17 lives. They
they
don't
are,
sleep.
Talented,
They
too,
like true black superheroes, G.
Dead ass.
They do everything.
Dead ass. Listen, there's nothing that you can't get a cluck to do. What do you mean I can't do it? Yes, the fuck I can.
Hey, Dolphin stories are the best, G. You ever seen this shit called Soft White Underbelly? It's a show. It's on
No,
YouTube.
but I want to. Just
Go
off the name of it.
Google that shit, fam.
Soft white underbelly?
Soft White Underbelly. It's like it's like a black screen and it's just interviews of everybody on Skid Row in LA. So you know you getting the wealth of motherfuckers who done had some different experiences.
Yeah.
That shit is life changing.
Listen, man, I enjoy it. I'm telling you, I enjoy talking to clucks. First of all, they have a lot of wisdom and experience to impart upon you. Like, you just got to be willing to listen, G.
We got to get some reform clucks that don't.
No, fuck that. Hell no.
You can't control a cluck.
You gotta have both. You gotta have the current and the reform.
Let's go the whole. Let's just run the gamut. Let's run the gamut from when she was like the coldest 19-year-old coming up out the hood. Then she met some nigga, start testing out shit, turned into a full-blown cluck.
Look at Boosie say, I would love a cluck or so.
Yes. Come on, Boosie. Come on. Like, let's do it, man. But if we gonna do it, we gotta get the. What do you be saying when you say authentic? You don't say you say the
genuine article.
The genuine article. G.
I got some genuine articles, G.
Of course you do.
But I can't bring them up here.
I want the genuine article.
They stole the microphone.
G. I got one that fixes my car all the time.
I want the genuine article cluck, man. But they can't stay here for the
And
whole
he's
show.
like a family member.
They don't got 3 hours straight for you.
He like a family member, G. So, but every time he comes to fix my car, I got to go get some dope before we go fix the car. Like, he got to be high to fix the car.
Because how's he gonna do it?
And so
It ain't high, G.
But he's like a
Listen.
family member at this point. You know what I mean? Like,
you get to that level of cluckism. They aren't high for real, bro. That is their base level. That's their standard operating.
Hey, Steve say clucks are COVID resistant.
That's a fact. COVID can't fuck
They
with
superheroes.
What
G.
is COVID gonna do to a cluck? Are
They
you
are
kidding
superheroes,
me?
dog.
What are you? I shoot
Oh,
black
my
tar
God.
heroin into my arm 17 times a day, or into my toe, or into my neck, wherever I can get it in. What is COVID gonna do?
Gee, do you know?
I sleep outside.
Do you
I've been-
know what Big Lavender would do if we bought clucks in here?
I've been fucking other clucks raw for 40
that
years.
man would have a heart attack if we bought clucks in here.
Like, yeah, we gotta tell Big Lavender to go to like Bolingbrook or something.
Yeah, he got to be on vacation. So
Yeah,
shit
he
for us to
he
pull.
go.
We be pulling some bullshit, but that would be like next
He go
level.
on vacation, and then we just bring clucks up through here, man. He would be so pissed.
He would have a heart
He'd
attack.
burn the studio down.
That man would definitely have a heart
It ain't
attack.
enough fucking Clorox wipes and Lysol spray in this motherfucker for Maze to come back in here after that, man.
Yeah, that's hilarious, though. It would be funny. That
Listen,
would
man.
be classic.
Listen,
We're going to have to do that. We're
I
going to have
think
to do an on-location cluck or so.
I think it's a good story, G. I think it's a good.
I know it is. It's
a
hands
good
down.
story.
But what I'm
even
saying
to the
is-
point when you get to recovering addicts, right? When they are in their recovering phase, right? And even if they've been clean for years, like it's just like to be able to tell that story too. Like I'm joking, but the more I'm talking myself into this shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking myself into this cluck episode.
I'm with it, but we're going to have to do it on location, though. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, who said I didn't read the book, Shannon? That's not true at all.
We're going to have to do it on location.
That's not true. I read the book a long time ago, and I read it again today. Like I read it today. It was like 60-something pages. Read it.
Nah, but we're going to have to do it again. We're going to have to do
The question is, Shannon, how did you schedule the first Is Wiz book club review talk at the same time as the versus battle? That is the question, Shannon. Not whether or not I read the book. Yeah. So what about the cluck episode?
We just gotta do it on location, and we got to bring the tape in and just play it like as we having the conversation.
Okay.
I'm with it though, but I can set that up tomorrow. It's nothing.
How many clucks are we gonna pass on the way home? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I want to get randoms though. I want to get ones that
that's
we
the
actually
best.
know.
We can get the ones that we know for sure. Yeah, 79th and Stony. That's my favorite club. My mama know that because we call her 79th and Stony. Me and my brother have been calling this lady 79th and Stony forever. She's been on 79th and Stony forever.
She treated the shit out of me one day.
She
G.
treats everybody.
She treated me so
because you
damn
told her
bad.
no?
Gee, no. I used to work at that KFC right there on 83rd. And,
Oh, yeah.
I'm coming down one day. I had some leftover food from KFC or whatever. I say, she come up to the car. I'm like, you know what? Here goes some food. I don't want no goddamn food. And just started going.
She ain't for that.
Store going. I'm
She
like,
ain't for that,
ain't got
fam.
no money for. She
I
listen to
need
that.
my next $10, fam. Are you putting on this next 10 or not? What do you got on my next 10? Fuck this food, fam. I'm not out here to eat. I'm out here for this next $10. What you got for me on that side? Clucker, man. Queen Clucker. 79th and Stony.
Yeah.
She's the champ. Let's go get her. All right. But anyway, we'll do it, man.
Even before we
do it
get to
on location,
the other conversation, somebody in the comments, it moved fast, and I can't get back to it now.
You want the question you want to pose?
It was asking that. It asked the question of what percentage of black men that we think are still striving toward manhood or working aggressively and hustling toward achievement. I'm trying to paraphrase because I don't remember the exact question.
Based on whose definition?
Well, I think based on the Western Euro patriarchal design, I think damn near every black man that you see is striving for it. Now, being successful in reaching it is something completely different. I think when we look at the dope boys on the block, they striving for that standard. I think when we look at the King Vons, the young boys doing the drill music and shooting each other up, they still striving for that standard. How they get there, they're leveraging whatever access they have to them to strive and meet that standard, but they're striving toward that standard. I think what we've lost, though, is that standard has become our definitive. And us being a unique kind of a people, kind of centered right in the middle of that African and European-centric identity, I think that we've kind of allowed ourselves to let go of our spiritual rearing and just identify with that in which is the, white paradigm that we are, dominated by. When you think about the American system of life, every institution that we've ever been engaged in is pretty much dominated by the idea of white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that we don't operate in the same understanding of whiteness as everybody else does, we do. We just don't. And unless you go to that zero grade reliance conversation that we talk about,
then you own that.
Then you essentially a dark-skinned white man.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that now the system doesn't see you as such.
Right.
The opportunities is not going to see you as
but
such.
your ideology
But
is
your
so
ideology
aligned
is
with
in alignment
theirs.
with that
Yeah.
shit in totality, right? So when you taking them penitentiary risks, even it's because you don't have access to what's
Right, you still finna do
a
they
Bill
shit.
Gates had.
Right,
You
you
still
still finna
striving
do-
for the same
you
goal.
still
though.
finna do they shit
You
anyway.
still doing they shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
still striving for their goal.
Right.
And even to the response to that, right? Like, and I think in a lot of ways, sisters don't fully grasp the power that they have. Right? You take away all other bullshit, everything. Damn near everything a man does, in essence, is to achieve the attention of some woman. So even when we striving for those goals,
Yes, bro.
it's to get you to pay
I
us some
say
attention.
all the time, bro. If there were no women on this planet, there would be one car, there would be one house, there would be one outfit. What you wearing today? The outfit.
The outfit.
Right? I'm going to go get the car today. Like, you know what I mean? Like niggas wouldn't care to have. I don't need to. My car don't have to look better than yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't got whatever. For what? For who?
Give a shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas would all have on the same thing. Jared get fresh as hell every day. I've known him for, I don't know, handful of years. The nigga's fresh every day. Take women off this planet. That fool would dress like everybody else. Like, what? You say you get dressed for yourself? Because that sounds very noble.
But I mean, to a certain degree, but of course, definitely, I would definitely be lying if I say women didn't influence it. But if you take women and the police, but that's another story.
Even if you leveraging the police, though, it's still the same paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're just responding to the responses of the paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
I know if I look, even with my hair, right?
He wouldn't have none of that keep swear energy if it wasn't for women.
That's true. But even I was having this conversation after watching that movie the other day with my people. My hair is a response to COVID. This shit wasn't never like this. I ain't had hair since I was probably 18. But when COVID hit, because I already had some
yeah, Claude, that's the word I don't want to live in, bro.
Lung issues, I wasn't fucking with the barbershop. And as the shit kept growing, I was like, well, fuck it. You know what I mean? We here now. But when I ride through the neighborhood now, I'm getting pulled over more frequently already. You know what I mean? That's the social norm, the social standard. We got to be real. Like, in order to avoid that shit or evade that shit, you
There's
got
certain
to
type of things.
act a certain kind of way.
Absolutely.
So there's no freedom in black maleness.
Right.
It's just not.
Everything we do is pretty much based off of some outside construct, right? Whether that is, men and women dynamic, men and police dynamic, men and white men, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing. Claude, I'm 100% with you. That's not a world I want to be in. A world with no women, like, I say it all the time, and y'all think I'd be playing, but I'd be dead ass serious. I think God's greatest two creations were water and women. Oxygen is a third.
No, oxygen is two.
Oxygen is third, fam.
Women is three.
Oxygen's third, fam.
Adrian Anderson is now being the hater, saying you can go to the barbershop now, too.
I think she just took a shot at you.
She definitely took a shot. It's okay. It's okay.
She just took a shot at you.
Now I'm going to let it drape, though. Now I don't give a shit. Because now I'm really rebellious. Now I really don't give a fuck. COVID over my ass.
That's all he needs for somebody to tell him to do this thing.
That's it. Zero gray reliance. That's how I work. You say what? Oh, okay. Fuck you.
That's good, man. Two things. Dang it. I forgot one of the things. It'll come back to me. But I want to just take a minute, man, and just give all of the love, honor, and respect that is due to the good brother Jay Illa, man. Yesterday, I thought it was today, and so I text Jay Illa this morning. Like, bro, I just found out it was National DJ Day, yada, 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 all this love and shit, right? And he like, yeah, cool, thanks, bro, that was yesterday. I was like, oh, I don't be knowing shit. I saw it on my phone today. I thought it was today. But anyway, yesterday, today, don't really fucking matter. Jay Illa, man, has been a source of, what is the word I want to use? I don't know, relief, joy in this year. Just what he's been doing with his music. He's an extremely, extremely talented DJ, but he's an even doper dude, man. So while I thought today was National DJ Day, I just want to take a quick moment and say thank you and salute that brother, man. He is not only the very best at what he does professionally, but he is just a super, super dope dude, man. Always got his heart in the right spot, always doing dope shit. And I salute him, and I appreciate you, Jay Illa. So thank you, man, for everything that you have meant to me personally, specifically over the past year. You've been phenomenal, and I appreciate you. I salute you. You is the shit, sir. So shout out to Jay Illa, man. I appreciate you. Happy belated National DJ Day to my favorite DJ, Jay Illa. That being said, the versus battle tonight. Tucson, you fucking with it?
No.
I already knew you weren't. Did you know? Do you know who's in the verses tonight?
No.
What would be a verses that you would watch?
I mean, I like music, G, but I'm not interested in verses. I told you the concept is bullshit to me. It's trash. I got all your records if I like your shit.
It ain't no two artists that you would like.
I got Spotify, my G. Apple Music right here.
What they did like Jay versus Nas? You wouldn't watch that either?
No. I got your records right here, G, if I want to hear them.
It ain't the same. You got them in the same room. They going track for track. It's a little vibe. It's a situation. Tonight is Keisha Cole versus Ashanti.
Oh, I'm actually watching that one.
Niggas.
Yes.
Niggas. Hell no, I ain't watching that shit. The whole construct is stupid. They dumb as fuck. Oh, it's them. Sign me up.
Sign me up, G.
That is terrible.
Yeah,
that is the fastest pivot I've ever seen you make.
Yeah, I'm quick, G.
It usually take me 3 hours to get you to go from hell no to fuck no. Like,
yeah, I'm watching that one. I watched that one. I don't like none of their music.
Which one? Keisha Cole or Ashanti? Is the one that you watch.
Well, let me say this. Early Keisha, late Ashanti. You know what I mean?
You like early Keisha and late Ashanti.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Ashanti is looking gooder than
a
good motherfucker
Yeah.
today.
I went to the African Fest in the
Woo!
rain last. Was it? No. When was the last time we had a real African Fest? Because it was COVID last year. Maybe the year
It was
before.
yeah,
that?
it was 19 in 19.
Yeah, it was raining, and I went to see Keisha. You know what I'm saying? You know, I get
Really?
hell yeah,
She was there?
yeah. You don't go. African Fest be having decent acts.
I
man.
know,
That
but
was
I
a
didn't know
low-level
she was
act.
there. I broadcast live from there one day. I was there the whole day. I was backstage and all kind of shit. Yeah,
But I showed up.
damn.
You know, I got the free passes to the shit across the
Yeah.
street from the house. But it
Yeah.
rained the whole week. But I was like, "Keisha go there? Oh, I'm going. Definitely going. I'm finna utilize this backstage pass shit. You
Yeah, I
understand
only
me?
went that one day. Might have went twice.
I'm just imagining two in the crowd. I should have cheated.
I don't know the records. I don't know nothing about the music. What record is that? It don't even matter. I don't know the record.
Make Keisha Cole say she should have cheated if she ever come my way. Yeah, he mentioned Ashanti on that song too. Remember that song? Hood nigga. That Gorilla Zoe song?
I don't know any
Hood
of
nigga.
those songs.
Whatever. God damn it, you get on my nerve.
Gorilla Zoe had some hits though.
Yeah, that hood nigga was that was the joint, G.
Yeah, I'm not hip.
What's wrong with you, man? God damn it.
I'm older than you niggas, and not as a while I can't listen to trash every day. I don't know.
But she was listening to Boosie Collins.
Nah, I ain't that old nigga.
Nah, man, I told y'all before. I stood. This was mostly for Alicia Keys, but Ashanti was a strong number 2 for me back then. I stood outside for like 2 hours at like 6 a.m. to go see them. Right, it was a free concert at the House of Blues. I told y'all that a couple weeks ago, but it like, yeah, Ashanti's her legs just
Ashanti
Jesus.
bad, man.
Bad than a
She bad.
motherfucker. And Keisha Cole is that like.
She's like grew into her bad too. Her
Who,
maturity.
Ashanti?
Yeah.
No, she was cold. This was like 03. The story when I was standing outside on Wacker Bridge across like it was like 03. It was freezing outside.
If it's 2021 now, 03, she probably wasn't catching my. I mean, ain't no probably. She wasn't catching my attention.
Yeah, no, that was
I think she
17 years
bad,
ago, 18 years ago. She was cold, Jack. Cold. Back then she was cold, and she's super cold now.
She is though.
Yeah.
Life has done her well.
Ashanti, yeah, she's cold. And Keisha Cole is cold too.
She is.
And I like Keisha Cole because she just looked like she might be from around the way.
That's what it is.
She got that around the way girl like vibe
from
to
the
her,
block
like
kinda energy.
bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I fully understand.
like yeah, she pop her gum and shit like that.
I wasn't paying that much attention, but I get the basic analogy.
You get what I'm saying though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keisha Cole, but the music though, I can give a shit. I can't name 2 Keisha Cole songs or 2 Ashanti songs.
My boo be popping her gum like that.
Can you name 2 Keisha Cole songs and 2 Ashanti songs?
Yeah, I should have cheated. And
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. That's what I thought.
No, I like Keisha Cole's first album. That album was fire though. Like if some of the songs come on, I would definitely remember them and know a lot of them word for word. And Ashanti, not so much, but she, it was her and Ja Rule had the whole baby era. That shit was cracking for like a solid 2 years. Well, it was just her,
She was
Ja
like the
Rule,
hook. She
and
did all the hooks.
baby.
But
all that
like
shit.
knowing her records, I wouldn't know them.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But if it wasn't for Shannon, I could refresh my memory tonight.
I'm gonna watch on mute. Right?
I'm gonna watch on mute. Who said that?
Oh, that's a good one.
Who said that? Flo?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I missed it. I'm gonna watch on mute. That's real.
They talking about Ashanti's legs in here. Yeah, that's true.
No,
I
her that, Jesus Christ, it's like, I know I was a young boy, but I want to touch that. But yeah, Keisha Cole too.
This nigga Steve knows some other shit. Steve be knowing shit about shit that I don't know nothing about. He said Ashanti was cold when she was in Irv Gotti's car, butt ass naked, mixing her gravy on cranberry. Y'all forgot about that video? I've never seen that video.
It's a sex video of Ashanti
I ain't never known.
getting busy with Irv in the backseat of a car.
And look at Boosie hating, talking about Keisha got them fake teeth. She cute with him. It works for her.
She used to have a gap, right?
I don't remember.
I liked her gap.
Steve got me from the Google and YouTube.
You feel me? Pull that Ashanti joint up.
We start off the 5 o'clock hour with Let Me Test Your Work, because this surely turns into the ratchet hour.
This is
no matter
ratchet
what.
hour for sure.
Definitely
for sure.
the ratchet hour.
For sure, man. That's just what it is. But she used to have a gap. Am I wrong about that, Flo? Didn't Keisha Cole used to have like a gap? She doesn't have it anymore?
No, I don't think she got it no more, but she definitely did used to have a gap.
So I shot
What
my
was
shot
wrong
at
with
Keisha Cole way back in the day.
You shot your shot at Keisha Cole?
Shot
Okay.
my shot. TJ was doing something with it. My cousin TJ
Yeah.
was heavy
Shout
in the music.
Shout out to the honorary third member of I Said What I Said.
Yeah, so he knew I had a thing for Keisha Cole. So he was with us, doing something. He called me like, guess who I'm with? I was
Oh, she was just touching herself. He said, Steve. She was in the back of Irv's car rubbing one out.
I didn't know about that one. I didn't know nothing about it. But yeah, so he hit me like, man, guess who I'm with? He was like, my baby mama. And I was like, who is your baby mama, Negro? He was like,
what
Keisha.
we do, Bueller?
He was like, Keisha Cole. I was like, nigga, that's my baby mama. Put on the phone. And I was driving. I was going hard. Wasn't nothing happening, though.
She ain't go for it?
She wasn't go.
What was a little space? RO double? She did. It was a little space.
Oh,
You said
gap in her mouth. That's what you talking about.
Oh, I thought. I'm mixing the conversations now. I'm thinking we was back onto the Ashanti joint. I thought she was talking about her box was a little space.
Bueller talking about she's finna put us in timeout.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What we do, Bueller? We ain't even do nothing.
I'm supporting the sisters. That's all I'm doing.
Hey, I'm here for it.
Praising y'all beauty.
God's second greatest thing God ever did.
And third.
Third.
Oxygen is important, motherfucker.
You would really want to be here with no women?
I would want. Once I have life, I want to sustain it. Yes. Water and oxygen, I'm going to need those. Yes.
So why ain't oxygen above water then?
And well, you can make them 1 and 2.
They interchangeable?
Or 2 and 1. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
But they both
But
first.
they both ahead of women?
They both ahead of women.
Nah. I would put water ahead of women because, I need to be hydrated.
Yeah.
And, we all need to
What would
bathe.
hydration matter if you couldn't breathe, motherfucker?
Huh?
What would hydration matter if you couldn't
No,
breathe?
obviously, if I can't breathe, I ain't going to be here. I'm simply saying I don't even want to be here if they ain't here.
Keisha Cole, Shanti.
Yeah. Keisha Cole, she got this around the way girl thing. It's that hood girl. Her mama was a cluck, fam.
Who's the baddest R&B?
Her mama was a cluck.
I know. Neighborhood shit. That's normal.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. She's a regular chick. You know what I'm saying? I like it.
Oh, Shanti, all them regular chicks, though.
I don't know where Ashanti's from, for real.
She from, like, the Bronx or some shit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but she ain't, different. I mean,
No, I'm saying as opposed, you take like Beyonce, right? Yeah, she's from Houston. But she's been, she was all on this singing shit from, like, a kid.
I bet you in real life, Beyonce is the most ratchet motherfucker you've ever been in your life.
For sure, but she'll let you see that. I mean, she do all the queen shit and all the
So I don't
formal
pay
shit.
attention to her like that either. I'm just saying.
She pop off on that hood shit and she talk that shit.
Yeah. So who's the baddest R&B woman?
What do you mean baddest? Who
Just-
looks the best?
Yeah, who's close? Top 3.
Like
Top-
all time
top
or
three?
like current?
Whatever, your top 3, period.
Top 3. And I can't give you an order just yet. But top 3, Alicia Keys is certainly in the situation. Yeah, I don't know, bro. For real. I like what's the pregnant one? The one, Kelly Rowland. Kelly Rowland is
She makes my list.
Kelly
What
Rowland.
about you, Flo?
Kelly Rowland does it for me.
One of the first ones that just came to mind, Janae Aiko. I like her.
Yes.
Janae Aiko.
But I like
How you say her name?
So I kicked it with her too. I was in LA
You
and
did?
kicked it with her and her people. Yeah, man.
see if you smoked, you probably could have got involved.
There was this other chick though. Let me not say chick because people get offended by that. But there was this other woman.
We just dropped like 8 straight chicks.
We did.
We get off that.
We gotta get off that.
We sorry, y'all.
We sorry. But there was this other woman at the time. She was unheard of, but I heard a record before, like named Luna.
Mary? No.
Luna was super dope. Like musically,
Luna.
she was super dope. Like that's who I met when I met
that the
Janae Aiko. I met her at a Luna concert
Was that
in LA.
the girl?
No, I don't think so. It was more like I don't want to say neo soulish, but it's that scatting kind of music they be doing today. No, not that.
Not that song?
No.
Okay,
She's very Janae Aiko-ish.
Shit.
It's the same kind of shit.
You over here drink? What was that? Nina Sky? You were just over here singing?
I don't know what her name
Steve
was,
said
but
Kelly Rowland is average at best.
you're high at worst.
I'm gonna leave Steve with it until you fully understand white supremacy. Everything
Yeah,
you think you
I
understand
said-
will only confuse you.
Steve, you are again. I don't know who had to pass the weed yesterday, but you passed it today.
Kelly's hands down the baddest in Destiny Child.
Lumi D, that's who that was. Thank you, Steve. All right, I'm gonna give you I'm not gonna give you a pass on that Kelly Rowland shit, even though you did just help me. So who you said Luna, and I'm talking about Lumi D. Okay, cool.
Kelly Rowland is definitely the baddest in Destiny Child.
Yeah, for sure. And before that, the other, what was her name? Latoya. Beyonce was third at best for me.
I don't remember her like
I
that
didn't
to
like
say.
I didn't like the other girl, the short girl. I didn't really like her. But Latoya and Kelly was cold. Beyonce was just a person, and
Right,
the other one
Luna
I
did
didn't
have
really
a track with Usher. That's true. That was dope.
like. Right.
Yeah. Well, Kelly definitely the baddest in Destiny's Child. But you ain't got 3. You only got 2. You said
Okay, so give me A Keys, give me Kelly Rowland, and because I can't really think of another person that really just send me there right off the top of my head, I'll forget. But I'll tell you who sends me there right now. And she ain't a singer no more, but she was one. And she sends me there right now. It is Candy Candy from Escape that is on
I know what you're
Love
talking
and
about.
Hip Hop Atlanta.
I
Real
can-
Housewives of Atlanta.
I can see that too. I get it, but she don't make my list, but I can see it.
She do it for me, sir. Give me.
So Flo
Candy
said
on a
Janae
plaque.
Aiko and who else?
I ain't even got. I'm over here looking at the list right
He's
now.
You
Googling,
Googling other niggas' list.
No,
damn it,
that's
Flo.
not other niggas' list. I'm just looking at all the black women I wanted to see. This is actually
Say
quite
Jilly
fun.
from Philly.
Hey, I'm with that. I'm with the Jilly from Philly piece. Run that, cause
It's something about Jilly from Philly elegy that just rubs me wrong, G.
it rubs me right. Crown Royal on Ice Me
She
now,
feels
please. and
grandma-ish
thank
to
you.
me.
Catch that thrust, give it right back to me, ma'am. Like I'm on Jilly from Philly for sure. Put that down. Write that down. But I can't take nobody off my list, so she had to be like 3A or 4 or something like that. But yeah,
dig it.
Jilly from Philly definitely top 10.
Question: who y'all think look better, Beyonce or Solange?
Solange.
I agree on that.
And Solange is a dope artist too. Like her music is fire, and then she's a dope performer too. I wasn't really expecting her performance to be as fire as it was.
So
when
I
saw
struggle
her
with that whole family because they just yellow, right? I got this is true shit. I got
Who a freak, Adrian?
I got pictures of my mama
Talking
on
about
her
Jilly from
wedding
Philly?
day,
Yeah, that microphone
and
piece.
my
Slow
mama
that,
and
bro.
Solange look like twins.
Yeah,
Yes, I struggle.
it's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah,
It's really weird.
make awkward.
Yeah, it's whack. But Beyonce don't move me like that.
And I'll
at all.
stop
I'm
telling
sorry
you
I
all the
brought
things I
that
thought
up.
about
I'm sorry I
Solange.
brought up Solange. Nah.
Stop telling you all the things I thought about Solange when I saw her in
It's really,
concert.
it's really whack.
Nah, she
My
was
mama really
dope,
looks like
and she could dance. Her performance was fire. All that shit.
Wait a minute.
Candy.
Wait a minute.
Yes,
man.
Candy, Boosie.
Wait, somebody said Candy got a what is? I just saw something really outrageous.
You talking about the Soldier Boy face?
Yes.
That's not what she meant. So Boosie, she's you know how Soldier Boy was like Drake. She like Candy. Yes. Candy.
Candy.
Yes.
I can see that though, Candy. But see, that's
cold.
I think this is interesting in the context of how
Oh, I
women
think that's who she was talking. I think that's what Adrian was talking about. Candy.
how women think men view women.
Yeah, she
versus
got
how
she got
men
she got like
view
a
women.
sex dungeon. She got a sex toy line.
Like
But
women
she
think
just
we be.
chill, though. I just fuck with
I
Candy.
think women really
Chill
think
as
we
hell.
be geeked off like the Instagram joints. It's not really what move us, G.
See, I don't even
I
like
fully
that shit.
when you said Candy, I fully understood where you coming from with it.
Give me the regular chick. Give me the regular looking woman. Like I don't like that shit, G. Like so like anytime I be on Instagram, I see like these fully
That's mine. That's mine, Flo.
Who?
Erica Badu is number one.
Oh, let's talk about that. But anytime I get these like
Guapole is fine too.
fully edited, airbrushed pictures and full face beats, and that's not my shit, fam. It's just not my shit. I like how you look when you wake up. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I want. Like I'm never finna holler at you in the club because you look your absolute whatever you think is your absolute best. That's how you look right now, right? I don't want to meet you that way. I'd rather catch you running errands in a jogging suit or something.
Yeah. Claude on here too. He got my other one. So that's my
Carrie
three.
Hilson?
Carrie Hilson, Erica Badu, and Kelly Rowland. Carrie Hilson is flawless, G.
Ooh,
She's
yeah, I ain't
flawless,
gonna lie.
I gotta take Carrie
I
to
might
eat or
have to
something,
put her
G.
top 3.
She's
Carrie Hilson
flawless,
is
bro.
like,
I gotta take Carrie Hilson to eat or something.
And Erica Badu flawless too in a different kind of way though.
Okay then, what about Deborah Cox?
I'm cool.
What? Or Tamia?
Tamia used to be nice.
What's that, Grant Hill?
Yes. Grant Hill had the best life ever. He
Yeah,
signed
best life ever.
He signed $100 million contract, tore up his knee, never played, had $100 million. He got paid $100 million to stay at home with Tamia.
Look at Andrew talking about dog
great
food.
life.
That's ownership. Try to use my words against me. All I said today was beautiful. That's all I said. I ain't trying to
No,
own
you
it.
said that's bad.
Wait.
I'm a patriarch.
I got somebody that make the list.
Who?
Maya used to.
Yeah,
True
Maya was
Maya,
facts.
Ooh, you see her now? She got the Ashanti effect. Like she got
That
older and got colder.
That powder blue Carolina jersey dress was always it for me. That yeah, Maya was that deal. That's real
My
spill.
boy got arrested trying to jump on stage with Maya.
Really? It's worth the risk.
Book, because
Oh, it's worth the risk.
Book, stupid.
It's worth the risk, fam. Shoot your shot. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Shoot your shot, fam.
Yeah, but
Whatever.
Carrie Hilson is beautiful.
Nah, she don't do it for me, man.
She's beautiful, bro.
She don't.
Carrie Hilson don't do it for you?
I don't think so. Let me
Badu-
Google
All
machine.
three-
her.
All of them beautiful, but them are the three that will they treat me. The most.
Let me Google machine this Carrie Hilson because I got a picture of her in my head, but not really. Like,
Oh man.
I feel like she's
I'll
like.
marry her right now. Like right now.
I feel like she's just a little.
That woman to drive your ass crazy.
Yeah, it's a no for me.
Yeah,
dog.
I know. I've been seeing. I know. I be catching her, but man.
Yeah, it's a no for me, dog. I'm good off her.
You know, I can't remember. It's some culture in Africa, G, that
Maya. Boosie is cracking me up, G.
But it's some culture in Africa. I don't remember who, but I think it like when the girls reach puberty, they shave all their hair off, right? They like bald, make them. They force them to go bald.
Tony Braxton, let's come through with that.
Nah, Tony Braxton is trash.
What?
But
are you high too?
No, I'm serious. But let me listen to the
Tony
story
Braxton
though.
is
G.
trash?
Yeah, and it's,
All right, come on,
and
finish
it
the
plays
story.
into the Carrie Hilson comment, right? But whatever this culture is, don't quote me on it. I don't know which culture it is, but they shave all the girls' hair off bald when they reach puberty, and the reason why they do it for two reasons. One, so all the boys can focus, right? And which is definitely some chauvinistic shit. But two, the second part of it is because it's so the girls can focus as well, right? And they feel like if they all look the same, they won't, their heads won't be blown up and they will focus.
That's the
on their
idea
studies
behind
type of
uniforms.
shit. Same idea behind uniforms, right? And there's something to be said about them women who are just like beautiful. You know what I mean? Like this is a detachment in most instances, G. It's a detachment from reality, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
Like I've known some very beautiful women. After about a week, you be like, all right, motherfucker, get the fuck away from me, because you detached. You ain't on this planet. Something's wrong with you.
Right.
And it's okay to be attached. You've been attached all your life, and it doesn't even bother you. You can do the fuck you want to do. There's some different shit.
Yeah, no,
it's some different shit.
That's real spill. That's real spill. There's a question for me. What was the question? I missed it. Who asked me a question?
Herb, there's a question for you.
Who asked me a question?
Yeah, we're going back through the comments now.
You missed. He gave his what? What am I looking at? So what is Herb Howard type? You. Now what, Candace? You my type. Now what? We done?
Shamika Turner says they be self-absorbed. That's true. Super self-absorbed. But it's even different than just self-absorbed. Like, it's next level. It's like a different, they like aliens.
Who aliens?
Those super beautiful women.
Nah. You know what, G? That hasn't been my experience. Most of the stuck up women I know are ugly as shit.
Wait, what now?
Like it don't be like fine ass women that be like not cool. Like most, like in my experience, they be cool as shit. Like it don't be them that be having the attitudes and the issues.
Well,
be ugly ass women.
Be
that
clear
be
what I'm
off.
saying though. I think it's levels, right? When I said, and I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? But
Sure.
in the eyes that I behold,
Right, these are my eyes.
Right.
I'm doing the beholding.
Carrie Hilson ass is like God had made that motherfucker. It's something different about her.
Really?
Yes.
She don't do it for me. I ain't gonna front y'all. She just,
Look, I'm with you too.
She's handmade, G. She's handmade. Like God took some time with that shit. Like just like
a little bit more of this,
a little more of this.
a little of that. Take some of that bag. Hold on, like.
But at that level, most of the women that I've ever met that I would classify in that realm, it'd be different, bro. It was almost like they've never read a book. It's like it's just they was.
Are you saying they
didn't have
stupid?
they didn't live life the same way every other human being lived life. Somehow they missed it.
It wasn't required of them to do that
It
shit.
wasn't required of them, G. Something was missing. I don't know what it is. I do not have the answer. But something missed the beat.
Yeah, I don't know, man. For me, it's an energy thing. It's always an energy thing for me. It's very rarely like this physical type. Like you couldn't look through my history of interactions with women and be like, oh, I can find that there's his type. It's an energy thing for me. So you could be short, tall, you could be as full figured as you want.
That's a funny one, too. Cherie says, man, y'all ever seen a dime piece from a small town move to a coast and get their ego crushed?
Oh, man.
Man, they need straight therapy. Yeah, I've seen it.
That's real spill.
I've seen it.
That's real spill. You know who also moves and changes? Hoes. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Like they go somewhere else because they've already, and again, y'all know I don't take any issue with this, right? They've already fucked every person in their zip code. And I mean, in their area code, I mean, right? Never mind the zip code, in their area code. And so they move somewhere else. And some unsuspecting dude wipes her.
What's the hold up? How do you classify a hoe?
I'm only using widely accepted terms just for definition's sake. I don't really see it that way. I think women, men, you can have sex with whoever you want, as much as you want. I don't really view it as a hoe or a whole. I don't really do that shit. I don't really.
Colonel says a hoe is communal snatch.
Communal box.
Communal box.
Community box.
Community box.
Yeah, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? But just for the sake of understanding about what I'm saying here, right? They move other places, and then it's like, then she become like first lady of a church or something.
I think that would probably be right up a hoe's alley. And my understanding of my quantification of hoe ain't about how much sex you having or who you having it with.
Okay.
It's about a value set.
Okay.
Right? Even thinking about it, like I just said, Erykah Badu, right? By all quantitative terms, most people classify as a hoe. You know what I'm saying?
By most barometers she's used.
I mean, if we being honest, right? But she don't really get that moniker because of what you just said, though, about the vibration,
the energy,
that she
man.
has, the energy she has,
this
the
other
frequency
thing,
she has.
G.
She's on some. I may just really. She's the purest identifier of femininity, and that's what I mean about operating in your proper polarity.
Sold 1 million units of a perfume because she says it smelled like her box.
It was sold out. I was trying to get it.
I'm trying to buy it now.
Two was gonna use it as beard oil, just rub it in his mustache and his beard so he can smell it on his face all day. That's hilarious.
But if we use her as the standard, right? She doesn't carry that moniker. Don't nobody look at her in that way, right? But it's because she's operating in her fullness of her femininity and really and truly, which goes back to the conversation that was happening earlier about manhood, because the shit that I respond to that you was talking about. He said the guy said that he had learned how to cheat on his mother while sitting in the car with his father. Like his father leaned over and was like, "Hey son, I love your mama." And then in the next breath, he looked over and catcalled some woman out the window. That's what he said. So he said at 12 years old, he was struggling with the idea of.
That would have been a great time to talk about non-monogamy.
But but he was like, I struggle with the idea of how could you possibly love one woman, then yell out the women to another, and that's when I responded to shit that I responded with. See, even that patriarchal conversation, I mean, even that monogamy.
You can turn a hoe to a church wife.
That's usually who they are.
I mean, pastors are pimps anyway, so they go together.
It's all the same game.
Hey,
it's all the same game.
Hey, what are we doing?
But that's to the point of that convo, and that's when I brought that shit up. Like when you start thinking about the most sexual of the sexes, is women. That's the reality. They are absolutely the most sexual of the sexes.
Wait, Erykah Badu made some dude wear crochet pants?
Common.
Oh, wow.
Common was walking around with crochet pants. I don't blame him. I get it.
That.
You say do what? Okay.
I don't blame him. I get it.
But that's how when a woman is operating in her full femininity energy, she don't got to ask you to do shit. You just gonna do it.
Right.
It is the way God designed this shit.
Right.
But the reality of it is, there's so few of them walking around in the fullness of their femininity. They don't reap the benefits of being women.
They all trying to be the same. Like no,
patriarchy rewards white manhood, white masculinity. So what they're trying to be is white men. They're not cognitively trying to be white men, but they're moving in a direction that is manhood driven shit. Like when you hear the moniker, like if I'm a woman in power and I'm a boss, people think I'm a bitch. True,
yeah,
because you're acting
Andre
like
3K,
a man in power.
If
you was in the fullness of your femininity, it wouldn't be driven in that way.
I could dig
it. Would come off in a different way, and you wouldn't have to be brutal or hard or none of that shit, and you would get every result that you wanted.
Yeah, no, I can dig that completely. I get that piece completely. Esco, we miss you too, love. Can't wait to see you back in the studio. We love you, sis. I think that it is. I think that it's just about like just the individualism. Like when I see like individualism in a person, a motherfucker that just confidently walking to the beat of their own drum, that excites me. That turns me on. There's something
like
different about her. I like it, right? Half her head is fucking shaved over here, or it's I don't know what whatever tattoos. I don't. It's just some different shit that says I'm not so beholden to this right way of being. That shit. It's some rebellious shit in there that's like, I like her. I like it a lot.
It's real.
A lot.
It's real. Shannon says that goes both ways too. I mean, in what way? Like the fullness of manhood and masculinity? I guess you're right. That's true. I agree. When you operating in your fullness of your manhood and your masculinity, you don't gotta ask for the things that you would have to ask for, seemingly from a woman. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, no, that's real. That makes perfect sense.
But here's another part of that nobody wants to acknowledge
What's
too,
that?
though, right? And this goes back into the monogamy conversation too, and this is scientific fact.
On the right day, I would risk it all for Winston Duke. Them thigh
Winston
meats,
Duke?
though. Who's Winston Duke?
And I've never a thigh meat for a man. Come on now, that's so disrespectful. Oh, that's so disrespectful.
I've gotten lots of compliments on my thighs over the years.
Oh, I was going to say something, but we'd be banned off the air, so I'm not going to say it.
You call it what you want. I don't give a shit. I've gotten plenty of thigh compliments in my life.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. They all came from women.
Yeah, okay. Salute. Salute to you, motherfucker.
If they came from a dude, I'd be like, thanks.
Yeah. Hey, what about to you, brother? But in that same conversation though, like part of the natural frequency
Dude
of
from
man.
Black Panther. Which one?
Part of the natural frequency of man is testosterone, right? That's part of the scientific makeup that brings into the fullness of that energy. That's one of the differences, right?
Look up this
And
Winston guy.
testosterone actually drops. This is a scientific fact. It drops when a man is in committed relationships. So the very nature of our essence almost drives us to get other action, right? And if you've been in those positions, when you get the most action, you get offered the most action.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just part of the narrative. It is. It's the truth. You know what I mean? But this goddamn system has created so many lies within the paradigm, and we all try to fit into it. And I get it because it's the social norm that makes us our way of living. And you essentially cheating yourself.
Yeah. Who said the Winston Duke thing? If you like it, I love it. Was that Bueller that said that? I don't know who said it, but if you like it, I love it.
He was the Guerrilla Clan leader.
I just looked him up. Whatever.
I'm not interested in looking him up.
You like it, I love it.
Yeah, okay. Sonya said data brought to you by all male researchers. No, that's not true.
What?
Because I said that the testosterone drops when you're in a committed relationship. It does, because you're not hunting prey anymore.
Yeah. So you talking about like libido and shit? You mean actual testosterone? Or you mean like sex drive?
I mean actual testosterone, which it's not just attached to your sex drive.
I know. That's why I'm asking you.
Right?
If we talking about libido or your complete testosterone level. Okay, cool. Maybe.
M'Baku. Who is M'Baku? That's the dude from Black Panther?
I guess that's the dude from Black Panther.
I looked him up. That's the Winston guy?
Yeah.
Man, did y'all see the other movie he was in? The one with the scary movie where he was a girl?
No.
The family where the family mimicked the family, like came back and killed him?
This is us or something like us.
It was the dude. It was the black scary movie that everybody talked about forever.
Scary movie?
Yeah. What's the name of the movie, man? It came out.
Don't Be a Menace, you mean?
No, it recently.
It's called like Us.
Yeah, Us. Us.
Like
It was just Us or something like
or
that.
This Is Us or something like that.
Oh, no, I ain't see it.
Man, he was a full out chump in that movie. Full out.
It was bad. I feel like I was watching
Like,
Roots.
I was embarrassed.
I feel like I was watching Roots or something. Like, it was slave bad. Like,
Yeah, he was horrible. G. I was embarrassed because he did go from a G in Black Panther to this whole new kind of dude. I was like, you should have
Out?
took that role,
Us?
fam.
Okay, Us.
Get Out. Or was it Us?
No, they all saying Us.
Okay, Us. All right, yeah, that one. Yeah, but he was a full out fruit. He was bad. I was like, damn, bro.
Just make it through 3 more minutes, bro.
I didn't say the word. I said fruit is common slang in the neighborhood about softness. I didn't say anything else.
I know what you want to call.
I
know what you wanted to call me.
I'm walking close to the
Then you called him a chump and then a fruit. We're getting there, and I just want you to make it through 3 more minutes without us getting there, okay? Please. God darn it.
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, they took on those monikers. That is not what those monikers mean.
Oh, my goodness gracious. Hey, DJ, man. Reese the Ruler is in the building. Great show. Was that last night? Yeah, great show last night. We Code Wednesday was definitely cracking last night. Looking forward to it next week. Tell Toy I said I love it. Nah, but in all seriousness, man, dope show. It was a great I know it ain't y'all first one, but the great first one on the network. So it was dope. Anyhow, that's about it, man. That's about it. Tomorrow is going to be Relationship Friday. First of all, y'all make sure y'all get up early for the Ruthie Moore show. Ruthie Moore wasn't on her show this morning. It was just Big Lavender and
So he was a whole pansy
and
in
State
us.
Rep Cam Buckner. Who a whole pant? See y'all.
Whole pants.
Who
I
called
didn't
him
even
that?
say that. I was just
Sheree?
reading the comments.
Who?
Right.
Y'all off the chain, man. I gotta get y'all out of here before y'all go crazy out here, man. Anyway, we'll be back here
Old
tomorrow
pansy.
for Relationship Friday discussion. Make sure y'all get up early. Check out the Ruthie Moore Show. Stick around for the next page in the Book of Dawn. Then hang out, ascend. No, that's not tomorrow.
Hey, real quick, I know we got all these shows we got to mention, but I was thinking about the Relationship Friday conversation. Not this one tomorrow, but I really want to bring some elders in here, like an elder, an older woman, and an older dude.
I want to sit down with somebody that's been married for like 70 years.
That don't happen in our community.
That happens.
First of all, we don't even live to 70.
It happens.
No, we don't live to 70.
I'll tell you what.
Man died from 65 to 68. That's
true
it.
story. Early on in my marriage, older lady, they had been married like, I don't know, 60-something years, for real.
Mm-hmm.
60-something, 70 years. And she was asked, how have y'all managed to stay together all this time? My right-handed guy on my mother's head, this lady says, I never told him no for sex.
So you know who the white comedian Dane Cook is?
Yeah.
So he tells this joke about this old couple he sees in the park, and he's walking with his old lady, and they're young, right?
Mhm.
And they looking at, man, we want to be like y'all when we grow up, man. You know, how did y'all survive this long? And the wife gives him this long-ass answer. And It's all this beautiful shit that she says. And then they turn and walk away. And then the husband looks back and he says, cheat.
Y'all, that's terrible. Cheat. That's terrible, man. But it's the same conversation. The other sister, she said, I never told him no for sex. 70-something years. She not one time was she like, I'm too mad, I'm too tired, I got a headache. She said, in 70 years, I've never once told this dude that he couldn't get his box.
It makes sense.
And that was her answer to her. Like, it wasn't like nobody led her down that road. It was like, how y'all managed to stay together for 7 years? I never told him no. So anyhow, just wanted to grow with. We will be back here tomorrow, same time, same place. We will catch y'all here. Y'all make sure y'all catch out all of the dope content tomorrow. I'm looking forward to On the Soil tomorrow. Shout out to the bigs on the Soil 1 to 3 tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all check that out as well. We will be back here at 3 p.m. Until then, y'all be good to each other. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum.
You about that life? I'm about that life. You ain't really about that life. If you really about that life, JC, spit a key. Let me test your work. Boss, you the boss? Let me test your work. Jeezy, you talking breezy? Let me test your work. Cam, you the man? Let me test your work. Dre and Snoop like that chronic, I need something stronger. Molly cute, that's like an aspirin for my daughter. Big time, in the club with a case of Ace. And I sniff that whole table. Scarface, another court case. I'm a frequent offender. When Wyclef was hot, I was gone to November. 6 years, hard time. Bobby was fucking up, Whitney could have been mine. We would have been so high and so in love. When Amy Winehouse died, I could have saved her. I could have smoked like half of that. She wouldn't have had to go in cardiac.